You should know better.
Come here and try it.
And we are live.
Welcome, everybody.
God. Okay. Hey, they didn't pick up the thing I said about Adam, right? Okay,
No,
just
post
making
this.
sure. We're good.
All good.
Yep.
Welcome, everybody, to the second Commissioner podcast. We've got a group here. I'm going to be your nominal host and moderator, Adam S. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody to introduce
Wait,
themselves.
can you give me a second for everyone to post in their Discords? I wanted to wait till we were live first, so Adam, give us a second.
Sure.
Adam, you're the man, though. Thank you for... That's
I'm
the
all-
pre-intro. He's practiced now. We're good.
Good practice run. Good practice run. Yeah.
All
I
right.
got mine posted. I'm all good.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm not.
Tag people.
Simly... Commish.
I should probably actually get on the site. That would be helpful.
Someone share the link in the our Commish server, and I'll post it in EFL.
Yeah, I got
Sure
you.
thing.
Thank you,
I'm
Nora.
Mercy.
Drop it in general.
Oh, I-
Tagging everyone. This is always kind of a nerve-wracking endeavor when everyone gets your ping, but hey.
Ambitious crossover.
Yeah, no, this is
Oh,
big.
I'm
This is big. We talked about it last
I'm
time.
always super afraid to tag for DFSA, especially because Madden's the super unstable client. So I hate getting people in and then immediately like, oh, wait, I have to end the stream. Everything just froze. And then you like panically sort through the roster file.
Man, everyone's saying hi. I love it. We've got
Yeah,
4
hi
people
everybody.
posting
Steal with the pod
first.
champ.
Oh,
LBG
yeah,
asking how it goes.
got
Chief
Moosey.
Dog Champ.
How's the volume? People let me know. I could turn people up, turn people down, etc. manually through Discord, so just let me know.
Turn people
Oh, yeah.
on, turn people off.
You know, it turns me on.
Good start.
We're starting
Good start.
already.
Great
Oh,
stream.
hell yeah.
I can't let Nora outdo me twice. What can I say?
Dude, I will start I will start
competition
knocking these
starts
back.
strong.
Dude. If you make this a competition, I will start knocking these
Oh,
back.
I know. You'll kick my ass if I do.
The problem with you guys is you're all starting now. It's 11 p.m. for me.
Oh, he's got us beat. Never mind.
Tom, that's literally
This
how
is
it
a-
was
this is a
last time
sparkling
we ran
water.
it. I jumped in and I was on my like 4th or 5th by the time we started. So
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
my
great.
buddies
Catch up.
invited me out to the pub, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going hard," and I was like, "I definitely can't do that." They were like, "Oh yeah, we're going hard," and I was like, "I definitely can't
North
do
threw
that."
up last time.
It's true.
Oh yeah, we're going
Oh
hard,
my
and I was like,
God.
"I
He did
definitely
throw
can't
North
do
threw up
that."
last time.
Oh yeah, it's true.
He did throw up.
North threw up last time.
Oh yeah, in the toilet, in the toilet, in the toilet.
He did it
That was
all
all good.
stream, I believe.
My sister had to babysit me the rest of the night, which was cool. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then I joined another voice call with some of my friends.
Mhm.
I threw up during the voice call, and then I went to bed with my camera on in that Discord call. Well, like, just not even realizing, like I was just KO'd like right there, just like with camera on, just still in the call.
That's great.
I like the Raptors gear. Hockey guy wearing basketball. I got the Miami Dolphins
dude.
cut. Baseball league.
Nice,
Just repping
right on.
some football. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Nice.
You
I'll
can't
throw my
really tell.
Raptors jersey on too.
I have a Mets hat. I can rock that.
Right on.
Throw on my Blackhawks jersey.
Oh hell yeah!
How are we doing viewer
Be a
wise?
sports crossover there.
You guys want to give it
Damn
like
nights.
one more minute, and then Adam
I
can
look
do
like a
his
boomer with this song.
prepped intro.
Yeah, 1 minute's cool.
I don't even have a drink because my alarm went off 30 minutes ago.
Nice.
I just came back from the zoo.
Whoa.
Nice.
Hell yeah!
How are the animals?
Very
How they
fun. It had just rained, so they were in like a weird mood, but it was cool.
What's your favorite animal?
I like owls.
Oh,
Soroka's huge
okay.
neck.
Yeah,
Keep
with the owl guy.
scrolling through the update. My updater's in the chat. Sorry, y'all. Keep scrolling through the update. It's like part of it. Oh my god. Part of it is just me updating. The other part is me position changing at the bottom. So pay attention to the position change. I'm moving to reliever.
Why don't you just do it just as the position change and then an update there? This just seems like you're adding extra steps.
Because I needed it. I use all the automated tools we have. So like first I used the AU Gold tool to get the TPE set, and then I used the Madge Creator tool to get the position change. So
Man, you should just man, if only I had a really difficult system to work with.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you're speaking right now. I literally
Yo.
click 2 buttons and I'm updated in SCFS.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yo, it's one of our pride and points is our ease to use.
I was
It's
deeply
ludicrously
insulted, TOK, because in a chat, I think it was Kingpin's chat, we were discussing updating in GFSA because we were trying to convince someone, and someone said that updating in my league is easier than yours. And I was like, how is that even remotely true?
Okay, so it is easier for them. I will actually say that. Because all they have to do is say what they're spending all their points in.
That's fair. It was a big name too. Let me grab it.
But, and this is my counterpoint.
It was me.
No, it was Lady Tesla.
I love Tesla.
Yeah, of all people to get roasted by, like the nicest person.
But I don't think Tesla's wrong. It's not technically harder to update in the GFSA. The one challenge, and this would be my counterpoint, which is, yes, but if I want to ever look up how good my player is and what
It's
my
more
stats
difficult.
actually are, I have no idea. I have to ask probably, and I should say this is CoGM of the Snowcrabs. I should probably know that, but I don't.
Thoughts about
Also,
see
Nor, I have
what
to
your
ask a
stats are?
question,
What's up?
which is, I know you're in Canada. Why
Yeah.
do you have a Rangers jersey?
I love hockey jersey collecting, and I got
okay,
this.
gotcha.
I got this at a thrift store for $40.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay, I was like,
Bad
I'm like, there's a million teams that play hockey in Canada, and yet you went with the Rangers. It was just.
You want to know? You want to know the worst part? I'm not even a fan of a Canadian hockey team. I'm a Penguins fan.
All right.
Neither am I.
honest.
I'm
I
from
don't
Toronto. I'm a
blame you.
Blackhawks fan.
I'm a Penguins fan, dude.
Go Panthers.
I mean, I can't complain. My one team that used to have my state no longer has a hockey team. So like Adam, I am a Knights fan.
Fair.
I have watched
I'm sorry
one
to
total
disappoint.
Oilers game in my life, and I understand why you don't like Canadian hockey. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Listen,
I don't like
for me,
hockey now.
I didn't have any like. So I was born, like, grew up in Toronto, but I wasn't born here. So I didn't have that like home connection to the Leafs because like
Sure.
I immigrated here from Iraq. So when it came time for me to get into hockey, my best friend was a Penguins fan, and I was like, "Fuck it, I like the Penguins too. Whatever."
There you go.
So it worked out pretty well, and I got to dodge cheering for the Leafs, which is like a big win for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you really
That's
dodged
a
a
big
bullet
win
there.
for anybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
A gigantic cannonball dodge, dude.
And no, I got the Blackhawks, but I also got the Bears. So like, you know, I got the glory of being able to cheer for the Blackhawks, and then a lot of pain from Chicago.
I've been getting into like hockey was my first sport, but like I've been getting into like a bunch more sports lately, and because the Penguins have been so successful, I don't mind cheering for the Pirates. I don't mind it.
Life's
I
about
don't
balance.
know.
right?
Everyone's like, dude, like I'm just getting into baseball, and everyone's like, dude, don't cheer for the Pirates. They've been bad forever. They're gonna be bad forever. And I'm like, yeah, but I can afford to cheer for a bad team. One bad team on my roster,
Yeah.
why not?
You need one. You need one. It helps.
It's
build
gonna be kind of
character.
fun, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Not like there's a sports fan credit score that you got to keep up or anything.
yeah, right. I can cheer for a bad team.
Yeah. It's always I always laugh. I was discussing this in the Kingpin's locker room. I don't get the obsession with calling fans bandwagoners. Like I hate that there's such a strong feeling around the sports community that you are supposed to suffer while watching sports. Like, you can watch a good team and root for them casually. You know, not everyone's some sweaty Reddit nerd that's like collecting stats and like talking about like it's okay to bandwagon. I bandwagon the teams. Like, I am totally a Lakers bandwagon, you know?
Dude, I only started seriously cheering for the Raptors after the championship.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all.
Bandwagon the Raptors.
I was never a big basketball fan. After the Raptors won the championship, I marched downtown Toronto, stood on a garbage truck, and led Yonge Street in cheers. I became a diehard Raptors fan for that day and that day only.
That playoff run was like the first full games of basketball I've ever watched in my life, and I went downtown as soon as they won. I was like, are you kidding me?
No, exactly, for
Are
sure.
you kidding me? Of course I'm doing that.
That bus with the kegs on it and all those people, that was wild.
Oh, dude, it's so nuts. It's so fun.
I think the term bandwagon really makes the most sense when there's like regional teams, and you're born and raised in that town, and then there's people in that town who root for out of town teams. I think and they're born and raised there as well. I think that's my experience. Is like, how are you a fan of Boston, the Celtics, but you grew up in Miami with me, 15 minutes from the arena? And so like that's the kind of stuff where people just question it. I don't have a problem with it, but I just think it deserves to be questioned at times. It's like, you have a team in your backyard. Why are you putting in so much effort to go to a team that's a 4-hour flight away? So
Sure.
Fair.
Speaking of sweaty Reddit nerds, I feel like we should welcome our audience.
Yep.
Good.
Jesus
intro.
Someone has
Christ.
Wow.
Thank God we have a
Nice.
moderator this
Thank
time.
you,
That's actually chill.
Every one of the
All right,
Look,
Adam, do that
coming in
intro. Let's
hot,
get it.
what I do. Welcome everybody to the second annual, because why not, second Commissioners podcast. There's
Sure.
names on screen, so you basically know who everybody is. Tom Hanks will not be seen today. He's just too handsome, and the rest of us voted to keep him off screen.
Understandable.
So we've got some questions from you guys all the way through all the leagues. We've got some random topics already ready to go, as you can tell. So let's get to it. Hummus, do you want to answer some questions first? Do you want to broach a topic? What do you think?
Yeah, we can go through the questions. Some of us looked at them already. Some of us have not.
No,
I'm in the have not camp. I think there's a few of us here.
gang have not.
I have not.
Nice gang.
The list of people that have and haven't looked at is like not surprising at all. By the way, this was exactly who I expected.
I'm taking that as a slight.
I skipped.
Taking it as I already openly admitted to have been drinking today, so it's pretty clear where my loyalties were. I was prepping in other ways for this podcast.
Tack is a hero if he actually looked at the questions while on vacation.
Oh, that'd be elite.
I mean, I opened the Google sheet for like 10 seconds and scrolled through to look at the usernames.
more than what I did.
Nice.
More than what I did.
Same.
Gentlemen, want to show your beers since people mentioned drinking? I am not
Is
drinking. yet.
there...
Just woke up half an hour ago.
This is an orange sparkling water because it's only 3 p.m. here.
that hard stuff?
Yeah,
I like it.
thank you. I do have a mango habanero cider waiting for me in the fridge, but that'll be a little bit later. It's good. I had a couple yesterday. All right, let's start with the first question from Roxas out of PBE. So whatever happens, Thomas, this one's your fault.
Perfect.
Why does Enoch smell?
Enoch's so most dedicated member of PBE for the past 4 seasons in a row. I don't know how he smells, but he seems
Probably
well
with
put
his nose.
Good call. I agree.
Why? Not
He
how?
seems well put together. So, why does he smell good? Probably because he takes care of himself and showers. The question was too open-ended. We don't know what he meant.
Wait, hang on. To chat, a shower is when you go into a room.
Touching
We're
grass
really
is when
filling
you
out
go
the sweaty
outside.
Reddit nerd here. We're leaning hard to that joke.
I actually appreciate the explanation because I didn't know what that was until you did. So
I got
That
made fun of
helps
in
me.
chat for taking a shower today. Unconfident69 said this will be the one shower Hummus takes for the next month. So, I mean, you may be right. You're probably right, but
I didn't.
Well, you're
I
not
didn't know they
Quarantine's
had
been hard on
showers in
everybody.
Florida.
You're not supposed to get your hummus wet anyway. It makes it bad.
yeah, no soap either. That'd be gross.
that'd be nasty.
Roxas wanted to give us a shout out to Dylan for letting him siphon TPE.
Audit head. This is not true. I did not confirm that statement. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Let's move right along here. LSU fan 101.
He's in a few
He's
leagues.
here from PBE, ISFL, SCFSL, which I can never say, even though it's my own league.
It's tough.
Do
Here,
what you can.
I got a hint for you. It's right here. You can read it.
Our name isn't super casual. Yeah, check out the merch, everybody. SCFL. Blah, 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 blah,
Now
blah.
this is official. We had a merch drop and everything. Holy moly.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
also got the
Link.
thermos thing with you, don't you?
Link in
Yeah.
bio.
Yeah,
Shout out to the SCFSL store.
yeah.
Yeah, Norse
Oh,
is
that's
funny.
so cool. That looks clean. That's such a
Clean.
great logo.
It is clean.
I'm really glad we redesigned it.
Here
I
we
was
go.
gonna. I hated the logo redesign at first, and now I love it. It's really grown
so
on me.
great. I
Yeah.
love it.
Did you love it? Did you start changing to love it before or after we hired you for HO?
I cannot
I thought
answer
you were
that
asking
question.
me for a second.
So
Funny
I'm
for
sorry
you
for
and I.
disappointing you as well, Van.
Everyone disappoints Van.
I was about to say, I think we've all at one point in our lives, even chatters have disappointed Van.
Yeah.
Chat, let us
Van
know if
loves
you've
me.
disappointed Van at some point.
I have disappointed Van on a weekly basis.
Let's get powing. So question from LSU. If you had to be the commissioner of one of the other leagues, which league? And
Ooh.
also, if you could change one thing in your league or another league, what would it be? I'm sure there will be no spiciness to this question.
Who's taking
I
it?
would
Yeah.
choose PBE so I could be like hummus and not do anything.
We've been talking about doing a roast
Savage
of me.
early.
We're starting the roast early. I love it. I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
I'm coming at you too, Dom. By the way.
Yeah, no,
This is
that's
the
fair.
second question.
Gloves are off,
and you
let's go.
came down so hard.
So brutal.
Wild.
Uncalled for. No regard for human life.
Who's next?
I think I'd go. I think the easiest one to transition to would probably be ISFL for me, just because I feel like there's so much user overlap between those leagues. So I feel like it'd be the easiest one to get situated in. And I don't know, the lighter simming schedule would be pretty nice too. I can't lie. That'd be pretty sweet. But and if I were to change something about SHL, I'd get us off forums, dude. Me and my co-commish talk about this all the time, Luke. I fucking hate forums so much, dude.
Yes.
But it's like it is such a necessary evil because there's like where else are you gonna host this kind of like niche internet hobby on? But
Discord has threads now, so you can probably utilize that.
yeah, I was like, even that's like that's not a bad call. We're so much of what we do is just like ingrained on the forums right now. So
It's a habit.
it's
It'd be a
habit at
tough
this point.
transition.
It'd be so tough, but like, if I had unlimited resources, I'd make it a Steam game. It'd be if you could just open up an app to get everything done. Oh my goodness, dude, I'd freak out.
That
one
would
of
be
the-
amazing.
So way back when in the ISFL season 3, I want to say, there were 2 people, and I'm blanking on the second one. One of them was Hawk777, who I think maybe Adam knows, and that's it. But they were trying to get the entire like ISFL update thing into an app on your phone.
Oh, that'd be so sick. That'd be so dope.
It never happened,
I'd
but
kill for that.
And now
wouldn't we all?
not active, so you know.
I think that's I mean that's a cool thing about the leagues opening merch stores, is that it opens up. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't think PBE and Super Casual are making fucking bank over here, but with the opportunity to sell merch and generate a profit, you know, it's stuff you can put into, you know, other ways to enhance the league, like advertising, or, you know, if it ever got really crazy, like an app. But I mean, it's cool to have those resources to investigate projects like that.
Totally.
I should post our merch store if you're posting yours.
Yes, get all the merch stores.
Yeah, everyone
Okay,
posts their
fine.
merch
I
store.
guess I'll plug ours too.
I think we have a weird thing about links though. We've had a lot of spammers come in, and
Big Follows is not a spammer. They're a real organization.
yeah,
We want the follows.
we'll
Let's see.
we'll get that out. See,
Hey, it worked.
no, the link
no,
blocker
dude,
works.
The link blocker
You
works
just
on
got
my
3
end, yeah.
asterisks.
The link blocker works perfectly. We'll next time we'll try to open that up more. I think.
What we'll do,
we
I
weren't
think
cra-
what we should do is we should rotate which sim league does it. So this way that
Definitely.
everyone-
I definitely
yeah.
don't
Sure,
like.
for sure.
I was stressing. I'm like, I gotta make nameplates this time so people know who's who. For the
SHL is
video.
doing next.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, no, that'd
I
be
was gonna
amazing.
I was gonna oppose it, but I've got no good reason to oppose it. Yeah, I'll do it.
No, it's my turn to black out on someone else's channel. See, if you're blacking out on your own home
Yes.
channel, that's
Oh,
You
it's
know,
bad
Four,
luck.
four.
You know,
It's
you're getting
legal at
scolded.
host.
Speak
But
for
if you're on the
yourself,
road,
If I black out as
Bex and
the
I used
guest,
to do the Drunk Commissioner podcast. Those were wild. I remember like 35% of what I said on those podcasts.
dude,
Yeah,
I have no recollection
that's the
of
goal.
the last Commish cast. we did,
whoever hosts
genuinely.
next, that's the goal, is to not remember it. I'm kidding.
I don't even remember the last one. Yeah,
Record everything for posterity.
There
I'll
was a
forget the
video
third one.
somewhere.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. Or is it?
Winky face.
Okay, so
Oh wait, I want to
was
say
it-
league. They're not here. I'm a huge hooper. Actually, was hooping yesterday and actually recruited a baseball player who saw me wearing PBE merch. They're not here. SBA's not here, but that if I ever
Yes.
did join, I'd probably want to gun my way to the top, just because I love basketball so much. I'd probably be super invested. So yeah, SBA would be one that I'd like to commish.
Yeah, we're going to try and get them in here. I know we
Hmm.
actually do have an in. One of our head office members is a member of the SBA head office
Cool.
as well. So
So yeah, I've been talking to them on the side. I actually just recently recreated the SBA for the first time in a long time. So
Come on.
shout out to the SBA. I know we got a lot of the users in chat because we all share, parts of a large fan base here.
for sure. 46 though, it's really good.
we're doing good.
Quick shout out from LSU was shout out to Junie for hiring him in as Sarasota commissioner or co GM. Sorry,
Is that ISFL or PBE?
PBE.
probably PBE.
Yeah, the Sarasota PBE Sarasota, not the Sailfish.
Well, hey, there are two Sarasotas
Mm.
because Sarasota is apparently a big sports city.
It's a Tampa
Yeah.
market. It's like an hour from Tampa proper. So as
see?
a true our Florida man in chat, I could tell you all about our geography.
I would have gone
fucking
with
Florida,
St.
man.
Pete instead, but that's me. Shout out to Ziegel for hiring him in Portland. I'm not sure which league that is.
That one I
The
do know.
DSFL.
That's DSFL because he's my GM. I'm back
Gotcha.
in there for some ungodly reason. I will update eventually.
How did I not know you were back in DSFL? Shout out to Van, Pow, and Pressing for being great friends. P.S. Hashtag HO sucks.
I feel like
That's
Wow.
around
I
the
need to
board
ask-
though. It's
I
not just
agree.
it's
Yeah.
not
It's
just
Which
not just
HO?
I want to say that, but the three people mentioned in relation to that are all in my league. And I want to just point out, two of them are in my head office.
HO does suck though.
And
Oh,
no,
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
I think if there's one thing we can all agree on.
Oh, yeah.
HO sucks.
100%.
I would not wi-
100%.
I would not wish it on my worst enemies.
nobody hates HO more than HO.
Oh yeah.
That's
oh,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got our next question from the legend himself, Legally Blind Gamer.
Nice.
It's my PBE Miners GM.
Oh yeah.
Feel free to shout out whenever somebody is your GM in one of the billion leagues we're all in, by the way.
Yeah.
He's
really.
like my brother from
Hey.
another mother, by the way.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that work? Never mind. Which leagues, PB, SC, FSL, ISFL? Like we don't know where LBG is. What would you like to ask the Commish Squad? Have you ever thought about doing cross-league events like Jackbox Party, Movie Trivia Night?
Is this not a cross league event? But no, I do
No.
think that would be a really cool
He's
event.
hitting the nail on the
that sounds
head.
That'd be
cool.
a ton of fun.
Well, I
We
know.
absolutely should.
I know one of the guys in chat from SHL, Artemis. Him and I for the last couple of years, as well as JR in SHL, have hosted a New Year's stream every year, which has been really really fun. I like something like that could be like a really fun cross league thing because it's essentially that we like the first hour or so is a podcast and the rest is just a games night.
That sounds
I'm
great.
trying to remember last time we've done Jackbox. We did Halo Reach custom games, which was primo, very very fun. Yeah, stuff like that could be cool. So like, it would definitely be really really fun to get. Like, doesn't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to be New Year's because it's like tough to get everybody in on that. But like anytime, yeah, stuff like that could be super cool, especially if you like incorporate all of our big communities, right?
Yes.
Agreed.
Only if it was hosted by AU Gold, though.
AU Gold
Yeah.
is a member of the PBE. Did a 24-hour charity stream. We raised actually.
Oh my god, that stream was
an
so
extra
good.
$1,000 for CODA, Children
Nice.
Organ
It was
Transplant
awesome.
Association.
That was a
Yeah.
great stream.
Yeah, shout out to
Okay.
him. Cool, one of the coolest dudes. I actually met him in real life. So
Ah, cool.
Okay. Who does that? Who meets up in real life?
You
I was
guys,
gonna
you and
say,
you and
yeah.
TOK did, bro. What are you talking about? I saw the pics, bro.
Meeting up in real
I
life.
saw the evidence.
Yeah, my favorite comment was when Adam sent the picture was, "Are you the blurry one or are you the blurrier one?"
Look, we had been drinking,
That phone camera's old.
right? Um, quick shout out to everyone, every commissioner on the stream. You work so hard and do so much. You are heroes to me. Love you all.
That sounded sarcastic.
Yeah. Also, legally works harder than me, so
Zach, do you have
I don't really
PTSD?
buy it. But thank you.
Tak
That
has
should-
similarly PTSD. He hears a compliment and he immediately guns for
Worst
it being
possible
fake.
interpretation.
I gotta say,
No way.
I should be nobody's hero, dude. I haven't even made my bed. It's like it is
You're my
6:30.
hero.
It is 6:30 p.m. Man, I should not be somebody's hero, but I appreciate it anyways.
As the senior in this group, let me tell you,
I-
not making your bed, it's fine. It's you as long as you're relatively clean, you're wiped, you got enough water, like you're
Yeah.
achieving
I'm-
things.
I'm-
yourself, you're good.
I'll make it eventually. I'm transitioning from seasonal depression to just regular depression, so it's like
I hear you there.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that noise.
What a
So, you know,
promotion.
like, once I get past that, I'm all. It's over for everybody.
If you wait long
Once I
enough,
get over this hump, you know.
Videocast / therapy session.
if you wait long enough to make your bed, you don't have to make your bed.
Amen.
That's been my plan. Yeah.
See,
It's
sounds
a
like waste of
dumb
time to me.
Tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would I do it? Who's gonna see my room? Me? I'm not
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah. I'm not disappointed.
That's a lie. I'm a little disappointed, but
I'm always disappointed in
Suppress
myself.
it.
Is an
Suppress
unmade bed
yourself.
gonna make me more disappointed?
Yeah, there you
No,
go.
not
That's a way
really.
better way to put it.
Pick your battles.
There you go. More important things in the world.
You can
Climate
make
change.
your bed, or you could eat a vegetable. Like eat a
Mhm.
vegetable. That's a big.
You take the wins where you can get them. You know.
Exactly.
That's what life is.
Appreciate the kind words, though. We do what we can.
Yeah. No, that's very nice. Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, let's move on to the next question. This comes from Reno, or Reno 1997.
Wow,
since
shout out to
you put
PBE coming through with the questions. Thank you all. Love you
For
guys.
real, for real.
your
Weird
PBE.
flex.
Hell, he is
I want to curse
hosting,
at you, Dom, so bad.
getting all the
Just hit me with a pair of D's and we'll call it even.
Bleep you, bro.
I'm declaring that a perfectly reasonable flex
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
I'm just giving him a
Moderator's
hard
got my
time.
back.
It's fair.
based on the authority given to me by the power of Grayskull.
Whoa, he's here.
He-Man was Prince Adam.
Oh,
Hold on.
Oh,
that
Oh, I should get a
just
poll
that
on.
yeah.
He was like
Is-
the one I got. So I was like,
Is that
yeah.
reboot as bad as people have been saying it is?
No, it's just story based. And He-Man and Skeletor aren't in the whole thing because it makes sense in story.
Skeletor is.
I'm gonna be real honest. We can all be real honest with each other. There's women's in powerful positions in the show.
that's why people
You
got
out of your
upset.
mind? My wholesome Christian television programming?
This is not what God would have wanted.
If there's anyone qualified to speak on diversity, it's clearly this panel.
Yes.
Oh, bunch of dudes.
Look.
Listen, as a straight dude,
As a cisgender white man.
No
my
one is
opinion is
more
relevant here.
depressed.
our stages of balding are very diverse. You from Reno here. You are tasked with. Oh, this is the one. This is the
Yeah.
one. we're
We found the
chatting up.
one.
This
That's hard
is
to
the
do,
one
by
that
the way.
we're excited about. So Reno, when you're out there, this is the one they wanted. You're tasked with building your dream team from across the leagues. Each commish pick one user who you consider the cream of the crop, who you think would combine to make a so-called user team. So you each get one, which is not what y'all thought you were doing.
Yeah, TLK, you thought you wanted to do a
Interesting.
draft.
I like this a lot
No,
better,
we're
by the way.
ready.
When we
Ready.
said this pre-draft or
Oh,
pre-stream,
I've
I was like, no.
actually- I've thought about this a lot, and I was going back and forth, but I had to go with the guy who actually gave me the inspiration for sort of the baseline of our league, which is TPE-based contracts, no point tasks, just activity checks and contracts. And so I'm going to have to go with Time Consumer, who I think has been in just about every other league here.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
has been super active, super
Cool, dude.
involved. And he is a wonderful person, and I play D&D with him every week. Although right now I'm not, because I'm in a graduate certificate program and they can't classes at the same time. But no, TC is wonderful. Like, honest to God, that is my choice.
Great choice, honestly.
Good pick.
Everyone's
Just
like,
one
damn.
guy to pick a team around, one user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're making like a Power Rangers of users.
All right.
Yeah,
You
and
each
they
get-
combine together.
Mine's such a boring pick, but it's my co-commissioner Luke.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be
yeah.
Luke, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Because listen,
I love Luke.
but the thing, look, I love Luke to death. When I first got commissioner and I had to pick a co, Luke was the GM for Manhattan. I messaged him. I was like, dude, I don't want anybody but you. I messaged him like a drunk boyfriend, a drunk ex-boyfriend. I messaged him. I was like, dude, you're the guy. I can't. When I was thinking, like, when Corey told me he was stepping down and I was gonna go for commissioner, I'd already had my mind made up on Luke. If Luke said no, I'd be dead in the water. I'd be like, who am I picking? So, Luke has been wonderful. He's got a hand in like everything, like from the dev team on the SHL, getting us like working with like the index, potentially like an updating portal and all that. He's I don't know, he's and him and I just like we work really really well together. Like we just like I don't know, we've FaceTimed each other drunk before, right? Dude is like transcended being my SHL coworker. He's just my friend. He's just a good friend now, you know. I love the dude to death. If I had to build a team around him, if I had to build a team around anybody, I know that any team I put out is successful if Luke is the cornerstone of that.
I do have
I'm
one
gonna-
small
I love
gripe
you,
with
Luke.
I'm gonna make a quick executive decision. Even though I'm not one of the commissioners here, thank fucking God. I'm
You're
gonna
welcome.
pick Tesla
Yet.
so that none of you can do it. So I'm picking Tesla for this team so that
How
none
dare you?
That's right.
How dare you?
Good choice.
Okay.
I'm a huge.
So we got Luke.
Um,
I'm probably your
Time
number one
consumer.
fan, honestly.
let's do Hanks.
We've got Hummus's corruption that's being talked about in the chat
Frick, I
Yeah.
love you, brother.
here.
I know you're joking, but yeah, you're the man.
He's
I'm here for my own slander. This is my roast. Who's next? Everyone's like, I don't want to say shit.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
we've
Come on
taken
out
the
of the
easy
way.
ones. All right, so while y'all are thinking,
No, I got one.
All right, you got one?
Yeah, he's nominated for the User Hall of Fame. First ever set of nominees that we've ever had. Next season, opening day is Tuesday. So the next off season, we'll actually have our User Hall of Fame induction. First one. His name's Poe in the PBE. Juosu did an article. I don't know if you all know Juosu. She did an article in ISFL breaking down PBE versus ISFL and mentioned in the part talking about me how Poe has taken a lot of heat off me. And at first, honestly, I was like, but wait, like, what about the rest of HO? Why is he the only one getting singled out? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like, holy crap, she is 100% on the money. This guy is like an older brother of mine. When I got to HO, was super, arms wide open for me, longest tenured HO member currently. And, without him, I'd be multiple steps back than I currently am. Basically, he makes me look good. So if I were to tie myself to somebody, we were to, I guess, run a team. Hypothetically, by the way, no one better hit me with freaking tampering. I swear to God, this is a question about a hypothetical fake world. But if I had to form a super team, I would call him immediately. Like, Poe, let's do this. So yeah, that's my answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good pick.
I hear the Apex are being recorded for tampering already. Are you now on the Apex?
Yeah, I am on the Apex now. Yeah. Go Indy.
Just to clear up, if you're not sure who Juosu is, if there's a GM in your league who's won all the titles, that's Juosu.
Damn it, you're right.
So my GM when I was the GM of the New Orleans second line.
Yes.
Ah, yes,
Or
that team.
co-GM rather. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Familiar, TLK.
I'm slightly familiar. I might have had a brief stint there.
Doot.
Doot doot.
Dude.
Angry dancing skeleton gif.
Everyone's messing with me in
Imogen
chat.
Wozy,
I'm
take my
being
doot
reported
doot.
for tampering.
Being reported. Everyone just flood the PB with reports for hummus tampering.
Man,
Hummus never even
justice.
responded to my last Thunderdome. I don't know if reporting him will do anything.
This will find a way to punish the Vandals. I know it's coming.
Yes! I say that as a crab
That's a
spam.
throwback for sure.
Okay. So we've got Poe, we've got Time Consumer. We took Tesla off the board because she would be everybody's pick.
Yeah.
Why don't you go with Dom? You right there.
Okay.
I like that.
This team is going too well, so I'm gonna throw a turkey in. That's a joke. I'm gonna go Von Ubercastle, who I always shout out. He works super hard, and I think Sim Leagues is about finding a balance between shit posting and taking things seriously. And Vaughn is the guy that helps me stay in that regulated zone where I put an effort into GFSA and have a great time while doing it, but I also don't get so invested that it's unhealthy. And it's very important to have someone that can help you regulate that and also, contribute to the league. And honestly, it makes me feel selfish that I get Vaughn. Like, he would be like the best league member in almost like every league.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a great dude. I love him to death.
Also a member of SCFSLHO.
No, just GM.
No, you're
No.
GM.
He's a
He's a
Flamingos
Flamingos.
Just
Yep.
GM.
In my
Speaking
heart.
of hummus, I'm glad to see that you guys have copied us with a Flamingos-based branding.
I don't think it was my name's James. All bets on James when he made the branding.
Yeah, no, he didn't. But even so, I'm just glad you're following in our footsteps.
More
The world
Florida
needs
love
more
is good for me.
The world needs more pink teams.
Yes, 100%.
Honestly, agree.
Cantaloupe Crocodile for every
Agreed. Tack?
I was hoping if I'd stay quiet, you'd forget to ask me.
This is class,
Most-
college
most-
class.
Yeah, no kidding. A lot of my favorite guys aren't in too many leagues, so I'm gonna go with probably the person I know well who's in the most leagues. I'm gonna say Andrew. Didn't want to dox him. AW13 would be my pick. Good, reliable veteran guy, active in
Good pick.
basically every league I've ever heard of, and some I haven't. Always makes good players. I definitely think he's a solid choice.
Just to make sure you're good there, half his players have been named Andrew, so it's okay.
Oh,
And
I was
he's
gonna
been-
say, even I know that, and I don't know that I've ever spoken to the guy. Like,
I
you
like
want
me
to
some
find someone's
AW.
real
Great
name,
choice, Tat.
look at the name of the first player they've ever created, and it's a 50-50 shot. It's just their real name.
Mine is
I
not.
am Forrest Gump.
well, his middle name, so that makes sense. I am, of course, notorious for hiding my identity.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's well established.
While we're on the topic, I'm like, this is just a quick pivot. What are everyone's player names on their league? I'm curious to
Oh.
know because I think naming
Um,
schemes on the league could be so fun.
I am boring in most leagues and go Crozier McCoy. But I also have what I consider the funniest name in super casual. The defensive back, I grab balls.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
and I get so much. People love that name. So
It's got a mission statement in his name.
There you
yeah,
go.
no, it's. Also, shout out to Did I Intercept in super casual as well, who is also a
Nice.
brilliant name.
There are some brilliant names in Super Casual.
Super
I will-
casual, great. I love the names there.
Love the names. I
my
go with-
My
player-
last two have just been my username in different languages. So I had a receiver named Taktischer Vorschlaghammer, and now my current quarterback is Taktik Marteau.
Nice.
Love it.
Solid stuff. Solid stuff.
I would get very salty at my GMs if they ever misspelled Vorschlaghammer.
As you should. Because that's just great.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with a man's name.
Yeah. Especially,
True.
even if there's like 8 consonants in a row.
Yeah,
Especially then.
Mhm.
yeah.
I put a
So-
poll up in chat. How do you approach picking your player name in your sim league? Do you go realistic or do you go funny / meme style?
So in the super casual, TH and I actually both of our players' names are as a result of auctioning them off for charity.
Nice.
So his is Slim
Mine
did
is,
nothing wrong.
As SLM did no thing wrong. It
Yes.
pisses me off every time because it's the worst way of spelling that thing.
Its spacing
It
is
breaks
terrible.
up the nothing. It's terrible.
Like I'd like to
Every
point out
time I do
my
an activity
PvE
check
name.
in this league.
My
get
PvE
pissed
name
off.
got the spacing perfect. For those who don't know, it is a cardboard cutout of Derek
Okay.
Jeter.
I love that one.
But in SCFSL, because mine is also an auction, it's Chess got that one, who, for those of you who don't know, was my original GM when we both started running the Providence Crabs. So my player's name is Providence C. Rab.
Oh yeah.
C-Rab.
Providence is a great name.
Shout out to the chat where Van notes that all his names are 100% realistic. Van, of course, no,
I went realistic. I took my real first name and picked a different last name to avoid getting doxed. But then again, I've pretty much revealed my real identity multiple times in the past couple years. So
My first
Anytime you
player
share a
was my
Google
first
sheet.
last name.
Yeah.
And-
did not care.
and you never got your like your debit card stolen or anything like that.
Let me check. Hold on. Let me check my wallet.
Yeah, that's
No,
a minute-to-minute endeavor.
My first player was my first and last name. My second player was named Scow Naziv, and it was a consequence of my friend who was trying to say so amazing, but they were blasted drunk and they said Scow Naziv. I'm like, fuck it, that's my name. And then
awesome.
my current player I just recreated in SHL. I named him. He's the son of my first player. It's Gabe Goonie Waters Harak, and it's just named after my friends Gabe Goonie and Waters. And I made my render. Hang on, hold up. I have a picture of it. I made my render a face mash of all four of our faces. So that's the pic. Oh, hold up. Let me turn the brightness down. Hold up.
I'm real excited for this.
So
we
it's
got to
just
make sure
a-
we get.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
So it's just us, and then I just made this sig on Snapchat. No joke.
That's amazing.
Um,
No, that's so big brain to get a person that you know as your render, because then it's so easy to make like draft cards, because you could just like get photos for
It's kind of
them.
scary, honestly.
it was a little horrifying because when I initially had the idea of mashing all of our faces using an app, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some unholy abomination, and then like the thing we got was like a dude that I could feasibly walk by on the street, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. There's a dude out there who maybe looks like this. It doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah,
I
lawsuits
was
incoming.
expecting something way worse. Gonna message
love the
me and be
idea-
like, your league used my likeness.
I love the idea of using a friend and they don't know it, and you just randomly message them one day like, "Hey man, can I just get like a photo of you doing the Heisman pose? No reason.
Don't worry about it though.
Yeah, just a photo of you
Very
pretending to dunk a
normal
basketball.
request.
Yeah,
I kind of did that for about a year in SBA. My render was Dermot, but he didn't know it. And I kept trying to get him to go look at it. And then as soon as he found out, they were like, no, you can't do that. And then he just thought it was hilarious because it's Dermot. Shout out to Dermot.
Hope they don't
all
mind.
right. So, quick shout outs from Reno, the Boise Raptors gang, Jess,
Oh yeah.
Maddie, the whole gang. Also Junie, because he'll probably ban me from Sarasota if I don't shout him out. Good. Always good to lean into the corruption that happens in Hummus's league.
It's
It starts
intense.
at the top and just works its way down.
You know, you gotta get that. You gotta get that trickle down corruption. Next question comes from Space Ghost 95, who's here from PBE. Shock of shocks. We did that quick poll a little bit ago that some of y'all may have noticed, and it said that
I did.
63% of our audience is from PBE, but also only 8 people filled it out. So
Yes.
Sample size is a little small.
here we go. Are you ready for a nice, simple, easy question?
Yeah.
This is not going to be simple or easy.
No, it is
That
not.
sounds like a lie.
It's not that bad.
What is the best way to recruit new players to our organizations?
Amber
It's a
Egg.
lot easier than I was expecting.
Actually,
Kidnapping
This is
usually
actually very
works.
difficult.
Kidnapping.
Just ask Phil.
I was gonna say, like, our entire recruitment structure has been either bother a commissioner of a league for an announcement post in their league's announcements or word of mouth. Like, we have not done anything crazy. I know a lot of other leagues. TH, I know you haven't said much, but I know like the ISFL does like Reddit recruitment, PBE does that, SHL does, GFSA doesn't. I don't know if EFL does. Do you guys?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
I know VHL did a YouTube ad like 6 months ago that was like insanely successful.
Yeah.
They just kind of caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. I know for
I need to talk to that
SHL for us, our biggest draw has always been Reddit. But we had some issues there because they wanted to limit the amount. We used to do about like 2 or 3 a year. Now they want to limit it to like about 1 a year. So for us, we've been doing small Reddit recruitment. So outside of the hockey subreddit, we'll recruit in like team subreddits if we get permission.
Yeah.
But speaking of the YouTube ad thing, our recruiting department actually asked us for permission to start potentially running YouTube ads. And we were because we've got a decent amount sitting from like the merch store and from donations that we have to the league. So we're pulling some money from that to throw some YouTube ads up. So, I mean, I will say I wasn't really sure if it was going to work. So to hear that it did work out for VHL is a little comforting for me. But
the only point of caution is that was, as you kind of expect, a massive initial number, but a relatively small percentage that stuck around.
Yeah, the retaining
so you have to kind of be ready for that, which makes sense, especially if they're just randos coming from the internet.
Which, to be fair, is like I think because of how niche all these communities are, the retention's always hard. And I think, like for us, I know me and my HO have talked about just like finding what the choke points are in creation in terms of like, okay, if you're a new guy, you don't know anything, what's tough? Is it updating? Is it like staying engaged with the sim results, blah, blah, blah. And figuring out how we can like tune those to say like, hey, if you're a random guy just coming in, like what's the best way to make sure that that person sticks around for the long haul? So, and of course, I mean, like, if you find success getting a lot of people in, you just have more people to retain to begin with. So that's always the best starting point, right? Like, if I had to choose between, like pulling a 10-person recruitment and keeping all 10, or pulling, like, a 150 recruitment and not knowing how many I'd keep, obviously go 150. And, obviously go 150 and hope for the best, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's
actually... I know...
Go ahead.
I know for the ISFL, like our biggest recruitment has always been our NFL, and we only get like 2 of those a year, sometimes 3, depending on like number of months as it kind of works itself out.
Totally.
But the most recent time we recruited from our NFL, the funniest thing happened, and there was an attempted coup on the White House. So not a lot of people were on our NFL that day. So we had a really poor recruiting numbers that time.
I think I heard about that maybe.
But hopefully the next time we go, there won't be some, international disaster going on.
You cross your fingers and hope for no insurrection.
I would say in advance, talk to like your crazy aunt and just like make sure there's no plans around that
smart,
day, and then go from there. Yeah.
Hey, have you heard anything about a storm on the White House?
Just like through the grapevine, like
are there any serious terrorist attacks that I need to be aware of in the next 24 hours?
Yeah.
Oh no, am I going to stop it? Absolutely not. I'm just going to delay posting on Reddit this thing.
I know it's a crazy ask, but it's for my sim league.
It's like the old joke that people were like, if you were sent back a week before 9/11, could you stop it? You would be like, no, I just advertised the sim league. Like,
get early recruitment in. No, so. One of the things, by the way, guys, just to let you know, in our league, we do advertise each and every one of you. You do have a little banner in our stadiums on all games.
Adorable.
So if you do need to see them, if you do want to just know how they're showing up, let me know. We can definitely modify them and make them work.
Yeah, you've been good to us.
Just attend a sim and you'll see them.
Yeah, that too. You can always just check us out. We stream every Monday and Wednesday, and this week, Friday, because my mother-in-law was in town last week.
Nice.
And minor league games Thursday now.
Yeah.
Now
I just got to get someone to do Tuesdays because I'm not doing that live.
I will say cross league promotion has been big. Like I know the last time we did this Commish cast, we got a huge amount of people coming in from PBE. So
love that.
Oh, GFSA.
Good to hear.
benefited so much. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, people in the
You're
SHL
welcome.
were talking actually about Nor's performance on the stream, and so they all went to the SHL.
Poor Hummus stands here and just gets like absolutely shit on by me, and then inadvertently brings in more users than I do. Like,
Well, okay, but so,
bravo, man.
but Dom, to point this out, and I need to just point this out. There's one baseball sim, one hockey sim, and there
Mhm.
are 4 of us here representing
So many.
football sim.
I'll convert
It's the best
GFSA to
goddamn
soccer.
sport in the world.
I don't doubt that, but I mean, if we think about sort of, and I don't mean this as a criticism of any of us, but if we think about sort of the users and the time for point tasks, we definitely do cannibalize each other in terms of time commitment between the 4 of us.
Of
I
course.
think less so than the PBE. There is still and SHL. There's still definitely cannibalization, but it's definitely less of a factor.
I would say so, yeah.
This would be a good time to shout out PBE for having so many affiliates that if you do some work in PBE, you're actually doing work in several leagues at once.
Yeah, the affiliate system's awesome. I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
that
yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
actually a question about the affiliates, I believe, at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Hit
Well,
us with that one.
Well, then everybody
Jump right
hold
in,
on
yeah.
to your thoughts.
just put them right here and just leave them.
By the way, if you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
from a different league and you're thinking about joining the
Hold on,
PBE, you're actually farming TPE money. I mean, not TPE, PBE money right now. So if you're watching the stream
Yeah.
and you thinking about joining PBE, you can end up starting off with a solid $1 million in the bank based on how long you've been watching us. So just keep that in mind.
I just want to say, no context. That does sound like one of those YouTube ads. Like, I'm in the Hollywood Hills. Here in my garage. Here's a quick way you can make $1 million.
I used to work in
Like,
marketing.
if you were
so-
jumping into this, not knowing anything about sim leagues, just by watching this advertisement.
Oh man, I remember. What was that a huge meme? The My Ferrari guy that would just repeatedly during the commercial be like, "Knowledge. I got this car with knowledge." Dude,
hope
that was
someone beat him up.
that was a great meme.
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally forgot about that. I think
Shout
that
out,
was 2016.
shout out to
Come on,
Dag
there.
and Moosey. We're gonna move on to the next question. That was Sports Ghost, by the way, in case anybody forgot.
Love the
Because-
crush fam.
To lose the plot here, and we're loading. Like, here we go. This is gonna come from Turkey,
Oh God,
who
I'm
says
sorry,
he's
guys.
here-
I thought we asked this question.
Even
Yeah, this is like the same question.
though, how do you advertise a sim league? You know, it's not like he can read other people's questions. So we,
Yeah,
I'm
Way to
still
go.
gonna hold it against him, but
Turkey can't read at all.
Be
Actually,
more original.
grow up.
all right. So we'll go straight to his shout out, which I'm sure will cause no problems.
Dear.
This one's pretty.
Makes me think it will cause problems.
Shout out to Zelly for being the most active person out there.
first of all, he didn't even put the right role. He meant to say commissioner and then put GM. Second of all, fuck you.
Cold. That is
Man.
cold.
He's getting me heated.
Yeah.
It is hard for me to express how much I miss Ellie. That guy
I
was
love
awesome.
Zelly.
Yeah, I really hope. Even if he just comes back one day and is like, here's what happened, I mean, it would be great. Because that's one of the most like upsetting, and there's been a lot of ghosts in the history of sim sports, but that one
Shout out to
really,
my boy Scorp.
yeah, yep.
Wow.
Shout out, Scorp did it too. Yeah,
Went back to
That-
his home planet as people needed him.
That actually reminds me, because Nor said something, and I wanted to actually bring this up, and I totally forgot, and I don't want to hijack the question. But I almost feel like, Nor, with your comment about we don't know where the hangups are with the creation of sort of retention policy.
Mm.
And I feel like our biggest solution, and I don't know how the hell to do this. So I want to just point out, I have an idea for what, I don't have the idea for the how, which is we almost want an exit survey. We almost want to know what people are leaving, why they're leaving.
Mm.
We almost need a way for the bot to just on Discord just to send a message when they leave the Discord of, hey, can you fill out the survey? Sorry to see you go.
No, the only pushback I have is that sometimes people leave servers because of a volume that they're trying to scale down on. So so when they're on the way out, they're getting more volume from something they were trying to get.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best path.
No,
we're just saying that's where this.
No, I love
You
the
know what
thinking. I
else?
love the workshopping.
I'll say a good
Put
middle
some
ground for that.
ransomware on their computer. and
A
you
good
don't
middle
unlock
ground
the
is
computer
like-
until they answer the survey.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Just break their
I
computer.
definitely
Why did
haven't
you
done
leave?
that already.
Well, you installed a virus on my computer, and that rubbed me the wrong way.
That sort of upset me a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like that's
Um,
going to give the answers.
Nor, what were you
I'll
gonna
say
say?
for us, like we were, I think the good middle ground for that is like I mean, the toughest thing with that is that you worry like when somebody leaves, probably the last thing on their mind is like, yeah, I guess I'll fill out a survey on my way out.
Oh, totally.
But,
Oh,
like,
100%.
so for us, what we've been doing is I think it's like every other season. Again, shout out to Luke for this, but we do like an off-season poll, where we've got like almost every department listed on there. A couple of like hot topic and hot button questions that people have been bringing up on the forums, and we just ask at the very least the people who are already there and sticking around like what their thoughts are on everything. Because chances are like the people who we already have who've stuck around like long term have like a good sense of like, you know, like, oh, I've been here for a year, but I remember this point being specifically tough for me like to stick through. So the off-season poll helps us in HO because I mean it lets us know if we're doing a good job, but it also lets us know if there's something on the site that we need to fine tune, something that we need to tweak that'll be better for like whether it's new users coming in or old users dealing with something on a day-to-day basis. That's I think always that always has helped us a lot. I don't know if you guys run anything like that, but I would encourage it. You get like some really
Can you
really
send that to
insightful
me?
stuff from there. Yeah, I can send you a link of the last poll that we did.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's really good. I know.
Throw it in the commissioner's lounge.
Yeah.
One thing we do in the ISFL, and this has been brought up by a couple people, I know our co-rookie mentor head Schwarz has brought this up a few times, is our kind of big survey is this rookie survey we do as part of the rookie tasks. So it gets us like right after creation and doing, you know, your first update and all of that stuff. And that's a good amount of like information in a way. But then also it's just like fill that out pretty much as quickly as possible because you get 2 TPE as part of your rookie tasks for it, and that's kind of reason you're doing it. So there's also that inherent flaw. So we are trying to figure out a way to make it so like you are, because that is a really like key point to get information. Like people haven't experienced enough to get kind of the data we would like, if that makes sense. I think what they do in SHL, because I am in SHL and I do that off-season survey. I struggle with it because I am not the most active in SHL. Sorry, Nor.
Fair. No, that's all right. I'll try not to hold it against you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a really good way of doing it, and I think it's a really good way of collecting data.
Funnily enough, Luke.
Felbot, if you're
actually
listening,
just
I'm on
DM'd.
vacation. Let's do that.
Luke actually just DM'd it to me now because he's always just on the ball. So
Oh yeah.
So
My one
I'll
gripe
drop
with
that.
Luke
That
is
was
his
very
SCFSL
creepy and
players.
cool.
So I'll drop that for you guys to take a look at. It's like I said,
Perfect.
super insightful. And it's nice that you can tweak it with like based on what's going on. Like I know for us, the last time we put it out, we were gearing up for expansion, so we got people's thoughts on like what a new playoff format might look like, what new divisions might look like. You know, like it just it's nice to like. I mean, you hope that like when you make an HO decision that like everybody will be like, oh yeah, good decision, but sometimes that's not how it goes. And so it's nice for us to say like, you know what, at the end of the day, as much as like we're responsible for making sure this all runs smoothly, we're also just a group of 6 dudes. And it's nice to get like a sense of what everyone else is thinking, because I've had some of my opinions changed while being in HO just from hearing public opinion and saying like, okay, you know what, this is a side of the argument I didn't consider from my perspective, right?
Oh, for sure.
All helps huge. It's big time.
All right. So thank you to Turkey for your questions, even though it wasn't what was just answered.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dom for moving into casual mode here. And then,
Oh yeah.
let's move on. We actually have a lot of questions, so I'm probably gonna push y'all a little bit more.
Yeah, we can
That's
speed run
fine.
them.
On this, I know you said we have a time constraint.
No, we
No?
don't.
Okay.
At first I was like, we should do a hard stop, but I'm like, the vibes are immaculate right now. Like I'm learning a lot.
I mean, I have a time constraint in that it's midnight and I have work tomorrow, but
We have an hour.
other than that,
so we have an
Here,
No,
hour.
no,
I'll
no. GH, I remember you saying you wanted to be done by 1.
that's true.
Oh,
I did
call
say
them
that.
out. Damn, I love it.
I,
It's
I, I believe I even said one was flexible because I'm a crazy person.
Yes, that's
But
true.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying I don't want to be here like a long, long time.
You didn't want to start at one, was I believe actually the exact quote.
That is what I said, yeah. Oh, no, you guys originally wanted to start at 2 a.m. my time. I cannot possibly justify starting a podcast at 2 in the morning.
I've done it.
I got another 15 minutes in me, give or take.
Okay.
Okay, so let's
Here all night.
Definitely move along.
Nothing saying you guys can't keep going once I'm gone, of course, but
next question comes
I'll
from
feel
Moody.
a hold in my heart.
From who?
Moody 99.
Oh,
Everybody
Moody.
knows Moody.
Nice.
Yep.
I love Moody.
Yes, I drafted his first sim league player. Just throwing that out there.
Weird flex.
Copperheads.
Which league or leagues are you chiming in from? ISFL, SHL, PBE, Moody. You need to be joining more leagues, first of all. What would you like to ask the Commish squad? And keep in mind, Moody is a member of HO in ISFL.
No. Was.
What did he step down?
Hey, did.
Oh,
Wow.
Sorry, pal.
it wasn't me, right?
Yeah, he actually on his way out said that this is 100% because of Adam.
He did tell me the one time.
I mean, look, I'll be honest. Having been head office in ISFL, I'm a hard act to follow.
Fair enough. Nice high five.
I don't know about that. but-
When are my leagues, ISFL and PBE, going to steal the SHL bank? It's just so good.
Please.
What can I say?
we?
I mean,
Buddy,
I've heard great
I
things.
know
yeah.
I just said I'm not super active in SHL, but what I mean by that is I don't have money because I can't earn there. Totally unrelated. But when I do have money, I love the bank so goddamn much. It was my favorite thing when I signed up, and I have been asking for it from the ISFLHO for like a year and a half.
what's that? SHL being good?
No,
Who's that? I didn't notice.
Wait, I like our bottom row is completely exempt from this question because we don't touch the money.
I want to actually make
Yeah,
a comment though, because I think, because I don't think Moody mentioned that he was in the EFL. I am in the EFL as premier fullback Blocky McBlockerson. And the EFL update system is honestly, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, it is one of the coolest things. Like, I think it's on par with the SHL bank.
Let's not get hasty.
Okay.
our designer will be very happy to hear that. It's been a pet project for him for like a year. It's an SBA portal that we now use in the EFL as well, and yeah, I really enjoy it. It's very smooth.
I could honestly, if you guys wanted to bring in the SHL bank, I could talk to some of the guys who worked on it and see how easy it would be to port it over for you guys. I am not a comp sci or coding guy, so for me, like, I go, oh, just port it over. Like what do I know? But if that was something you guys are interested in, I could ask the guys and see how easy it might be to pull that over. I know for me, it has been like we switched to like that banking system before I was even in HO, and it has been like night and day. From like again, it's more of that what I was talking about earlier of making it feel more like an app than a forum board. So being able to like pull from the bank as opposed to having to like type in a thread like a caveman, that feels pretty solid. So yeah, if you guys have any interest in that, I can see if I can hook you guys up. But
I mean, I am the lowly minor leagues commissioner, so like I don't have the authority to be like, absolutely, yes, we will implement that immediately. But like I know for me personally, 100% I would like that.
it's
Lowly.
convenient, man.
The DSFL runs the league. I mean, we've talked about this.
Goddamn right it does, Adam. DSFL best SFL.
Look, you know something is unequivocally in charge when even I stop fighting it. Like I just fucking Moody took the time to shout out no one. That's right. Moody, who knows you all, shouted out nobody.
You know
So
what?
keep
I
that in mind.
appreciate that gumption.
Thanks balls.
He
Takes
probably
balls to do
did.
that.
That's a smart
Yeah,
route.
I love
Smart
it.
route.
But
Good.
Can't
you
offend
know,
anyone.
I respect it.
Offend everyone.
tribute malice here. Next question is from Leatherneck Mike, who's here from the PBE, a league we've heard of before.
I've heard of that.
Why aren't there just universal at everyone's during recruiting amongst all the leagues? Wow.
But could you imagine how many people a Universal at everyone would tag?
Exactly. That's what
It's
it
a
comes down to.
horrifying
It's-
number of people.
Every league is concerned about
Our
their own
serv-
retention. Imagine if we kept bugging them with like constant ping, 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 ping. Oh wait, TLK's
You know
laughing
the
because that's what they do
warnings
there.
you
but-
get when you just have
Yeah.
like game announcements? Could you imagine you are about to tag 5,000 users?
Right.
Yes,
at
I
once.
would like to.
I cannot hit that enter fast enough.
Think
Now,
about how many people just for this got like 3, 4, 5 pings.
Yeah.
we have a. So they were
Hey,
talking
I
in chat
didn't
about.
tag anybody.
They were talking in chat about that we have our own lounge. I think people were kind of like, when you're outside the club, it's like, what if we, I mean, not to workshop things live, and you obviously feel free to plead the fifth. There's a Reddit called Our Sim Leagues already, but like we're all on Discord. Like every sim league is on Discord.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like we don't have a sim league server. There's no sim league Discord server that I could think of. Someone correct
Not
me
that I
if I'm
know
wrong.
of.
There's not.
There
But
isn't
I might have a way to get one.
I think we're all Discord
Server
savvy. If
creation
you're a
button?
commissioner of a sim league, come on, that's like
Yeah,
Gotta be.
we're not coding gurus as Nora mentioned, but we do know how to run a Discord server. So
So
Yeah.
there's
No.
a group.
How many
That
things
I'm-
you just made me test because he got excited?
people are. What's chat saying about a central sim league server? Okay, so chat likes
Yeah.
it. Shout out to chat, by the way. A
Yeah.
lot of people from all over different leagues. You guys have been all great all
But
night.
I have
Yeah.
a resource that might be good to reach out to. So a while back, because we run Access Football, and I think for a while we were the only sim league on Access Football. We are now one of 3, 4.
I think there's a lot of many ones, but
The
of the
biggest, though, I
actually
think.
good notable
Oh, we
ones.
are by far the biggest. We are
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah.
We have written more guides for the Access Sim community than anyone else. But we got
Rip
interviewed.
Dave.
But we got interviewed by a different group when we hit our 1-year anniversary called League Crawler, which is actually a Madden resource to try and get people organized. And they might be actually a resource that we can lean on. They have a site as well as a Discord, and it might be good to just reach out to them and see if that's possible. I know the SHL has popped up on there once. The EFL has popped up on there once. So I know definitely there's potential.
Yeah, I think if we put our heads together, I mean, we all are super busy, so like this is very ambitious to be talking.
Oh, that's why I'm
it's
thinking
one thing to
we
talk the talk, then
completely
walk
give
the
it to
walk.
someone else.
Oh, like outsource it.
I also like
Yeah.
that this was not a little bit planned. We are on a stream that will be continued to be posted openly saying, here's something we'll look at doing with no ability to follow up necessarily.
I mean,
I'll follow
I
up.
know how to make a server. First of all, I think we need a good icon. The Coda one was good, but if we want to make it global, I think we need like a federation, like a Sim League federation. Because I feel
We'll
like
make
when
a
it comes to
flag.
when it comes to the internet, I feel like it's us against the world kind of thing. Like we are so niche as a whole.
Incredibly so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the internet's so massive. Like we are such a tiny pocket of the internet. It
Yeah.
feels like it's us against the world. So we just need, I think, an icon, a logo that represents all of us who we like to come together. I think I don't want to speak on y'all's behalf, but I really
No.
enjoy doing these. So
I don't think any one of us here doesn't enjoy doing them. Otherwise, we wouldn't all be here.
that's a great
It's
point.
all right.
We have good-
there are
good
definitely
attendance.
moments. Tack. There are
I'm not-
definitely
I'm not-
moments that we all definitely hate. But I
I'm
don't
not
think
crazy about
overall,
it.
at the end of the day,
So I think the more we stick together, I think the better all of our leagues will be health wise, sustainability wise, long term.
oh
So
yeah, absolutely.
So I'm already thinking of the server you can get a role if you are in that league. So each league has their own role, and then there's you can have categories of channels, like a category for each league, and you can pop in and chime in different leagues and see what's going on. A good way to
Promote
mark.
cross-league events,
And we can literally we're talking about Jackbox for all the leagues. LBG. We're
This is the great way to do it. It's the conduit.
This is
straight
it.
up.
this video has
Imagine
come
how
full
quickly
circle.
the punishment threads will get posted on that server as well.
And
There's
it's
going to be
great.
so much
People want to share
commentary.
Java
And the
threads.
punishment
It will
threads are
quintuple
perfect.
the
That's how
amount of
we do
drama.
all of our punishments.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. I'm gonna give you guys a lesson in delegation here. Everybody watching, those of you who might be interested in possibly trying to set
Message me.
that Discord server up, message him or message me.
Message your commissioner. Message your respective commissioner if you want to represent your
Your
league in
local
the server.
commissioner.
Oh, you're a local
Just
commissioner.
remember, if you're in the ISFL, that would actually be Bex, not myself.
Already outsourcing tasks. Great delegator, Tom.
Everyone
Hanks.
should
Decisions,
have
he gets it.
I'll take it off your plate. Go ahead, send me send your commissioner message. Send me a message. I'll organize a list of people who are interested. Since I'm kind of the wrangler of all the commissioners now.
Yeah, I think this would be
For the
cool.
logo, hear me out.
Okay.
Noor had that face mash app. All of our faces mash.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay, on one condition.
You didn't
Alright,
hear
so
that.
just
Wait,
away.
Tack,
He
say it
missed the
again.
whole
Tom
thing.
Hanks.
Say it
Wait,
again.
Tack, repeat the idea. Nor was doing things.
I was getting a beer.
Okay, we take your face mash and mash all our faces. That's the server logo.
That's the server
I'm
icon.
cool with it. Yeah, we could mash all of our faces. It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm mostly joking.
Or
but-
repulsive, depending on the viewer.
Listen, no, don't expect repulsive. I'm telling you, the guy I pulled up is a real dude. There's a dude out there who looks like that. That's a real guy, man. Like,
They just surf the internet for a face that looks close to the combination thereof, and they just
Yeah,
post
you should Google image search that face and see if you
yeah,
can
see if I
get
can find a
something
guy.
that
Like, I'll
comes up.
message him and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, listen, we are intrinsically linked, even though you don't know it."
And now
I
you've
am
got a
1/4
recruitment server
of you.
already.
Also, while I'm messaging you, have you heard of the SHL?
So, in the interest of getting through these, shout out to Leatherneck Mike for your question, and Leatherneck Mike, shout Dogwood Maple, great user.
Dogwood, go Apex.
Go Apex.
Maple season.
Go Apex if y'all draft me. I am in the minors as D's Huevos.
Don't
I
draft
don't know.
him.
I've drafted you before in the PB. It never works out like I planned.
Hey, my last player got to almost 1,000 TP.
And I didn't draft him.
Charlie Law Jr.
By the way, for those of you who have not read my introduction PT, D's Huevos has a backstory. He's the secret illegitimate son of Penny Cowers. And I did not
I
tell
like it.
him
Legend, Penny.
I showed Joe the PT, and his response was just like you always come in hot. All right, next question is from Matt Bake 12, who's here from PBE, SCFSL, ISFL. Does not have a question and just wants to shout out Laser. Laser,
I
great.
love that.
Amazing
Could've-
shout out. Perfect shout out. Shout out from myself to Laser as well. Thank you for the idea, Matt Bake.
Laser, who I love so much that I rode him down like a wild pony until he would GM in the Super Casual League.
And
that
he
is-
loves it.
I think you could have worded that in a better way.
no,
Phrasing
I
was
feel like
poor.
there are ways that.
no. When Laser hears this, he's gonna be like, no, that was an accurate description.
So you're
Okay.
done.
We've got a Go Venom comment, one of our new expansion teams.
Oh, go Venom! Let's go.
The Las Vegas Venom, who were going to
Yep.
draft me and then didn't. And that didn't
Yeah.
work out for them.
And
Yo,
also, I'd like to point out we have now
To
taken.
be fair, having
Las
drafted
Vegas-
Adam, that doesn't always go as well as you plan either.
Getting called out on his own stream.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was about to say you haven't had time to rage retire yet. You got to at least give another 2 seasons before you start trash talking.
Wide receiver has been my most successful position historically.
Yeah.
Heck, quarterback.
Oh man.
So
Next
excited
question
for
comes
21.
from Lim Jahi, who's here from ISFL, PBE, Super Casual. What would you like to ask the squad? You're at a cookout. Okay. All right. Everybody get that cookout mentality except Dak, who's already there.
Sounds good.
You're at a cookout, but you can only grab one food item for the entire cookout. What is it?
Ribs.
Hot dog. Taking the
I'll
hot
make
dog.
burgers.
An entire roast chicken.
An
I
entire
like it.
nice
Oh, okay.
potato salad.
Bigger, go home. I dig it.
I don't like agreeing with Nor, but also hot
I'm going
dogs.
hot dogs. I'm going
Yeah.
hot dogs.
I'll go hamburgers.
They're such a divisive food. You
But
know,
here's the
I
thing.
found that everyone either loves them or hates them.
And
I don't-
usually, if they
listen.
hate them, they love brats.
Here's the thing. Everybody I've ever talked to who said they hate hot dogs has always tried to sell me on how gross they are. Like I give a shit. Like they'll be like, "Oh, dude, they're like ground up animals stuffed in intestines." I'm like, "Dude, it tastes good. You think I care?"
I lived in Scotland for 4
Scottish
years.
people
Like they
Hell
tell me,
yeah.
they tell me,
If
they
you
tell me
think
like I'm gonna
ground up animal is gonna scare
yeah, like
me
come
off
on, dude.
shit.
Like they say it to me like I'm gonna go, really? Oh god, hot dogs are gross. like no, dude, are you kidding? Like you are not
Dude,
giving my opinion.
Scottish people are proud of haggis. Like, how bad could a hot dog really
Look,
be?
I'm just gonna go out there. All right, so
When there are cultures that like delicacies is like sheep carcass, you know? Like,
now to clarify, first of all, haggis is not a delicacy. It's just food. Second of all, haggis is good, man. Anybody who doesn't think that is a
I'll try
fucking idiot. You know what? It's good
I haven't
shit.
tried it, but I
I've
would.
never tried it.
To be fair, first time I tried it, I didn't know what it was, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good." And my parents were like, "Do you know what you just ate?" And I was like, "Yeah, haggis." And they were like, "Do you know what that means?" Even still, it's good shit. I like it. I also will eat blood pudding.
Fuck it, I'll eat it.
I didn't
I'll try it. I'll try
deep-fry
anything
haggis, van. Get the fuck out of here. I just ate the haggis.
once.
Okay.
I'll try anything once. Honestly, I don't care.
Same.
I mean, it's not anything to write home about, but it's pretty good.
Hell
Like,
yeah. But no, hot dog's the way. Just one hot dog in the bun, and then like another 3 just on the side, just because why not? You know, like why not? You know,
you ever do Looney Dogs at Rogers Center?
I've not. No.
Oh, so yeah, it's if you go, it's like one Blue Jays game a year. It's 1 loony per hot dog, so you can just go up and get as many as you fucking want. It's great.
TH, there's a question for you
Get in on
about.
that.
There's a question for you about your haggis eating. Did you drink Iron Brew with it?
Yeah.
Of course, I drank some Iron Brew with it.
Oh yeah.
You know that is just pure sugar in a can. If you think
I
cream
want to know what
soda
it
is
tastes like. I
sweet,
can't figure it out.
it's just sugar. If you
It's
like
bubblegum
cream
soda.
soda,
I mean, I know
ain't got
that.
shit on the amount of sugar in Iron Brew.
It tastes like bubblegum.
It's-
it's
I mean, a little.
Oh, I know. I've had Iron Brew. I love it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's
more
good.
just like the flavor. I just can't figure
It
quite
is a
out.
little like orange bubblegummy if you
Yeah,
then
it's like-
multiplied the sugar by 20.
So it just tastes like sugar, just like at that point. That's
It
the flavor.
really
It's got
does.
sugar
It
is the
flavor,
really
yeah,
just
like-
yeah.
I'd try it. I don't give a
It's,
shit.
yeah, no, I mean, you've just said you'd try anything once, right?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
See, Iron Brew and vodka, you can get so much vodka in there before you begin to taste it because the taste of sugar is so goddamn strong.
Okay. Okay. Now that reminds me. This is a little off topic. Has anybody here ever had a pickleback shot?
Of course. I'm
Oh
so glad I
my
came back
God,
just in time for that
SLM
freaking
went on a
question.
fucking
My boys,
rant
dude.
about picklebacks
Yo.
to me.
If I,
Picklebacks.
gross.
Okay, listen.
if I come to
last
Toronto,
time-
we're taking pickleback shots for sure.
Please. Okay, listen. So this I mentioned it earlier before we started up, but this weekend I'm going to Montreal with a few of the SHL guys who play on my team. We're going with 10 dudes. But we've been doing these meetups every summer. We've put them on hold for COVID. But the last time we met up was in Toronto, and it was me, Gabe, Waters, and Goonie, and we all had pickleback shots, and Gabe and I ate it up. It was so good. It was unbelievable. But Goonie and Waters hated them. But for anybody here who hasn't had them, and anybody in chat who hasn't had them, it's literally it's whiskey and then a shot of pickle juice. But like the pickle juice is the best chaser I've ever had in my life. I don't feel the whiskey burn at all. I could go like back to back to back to back on those and be chill, and then in an hour be on my ass. Like it's elite. It's so good. And there's
Dude,
electrolytes.
I can't
in there,
believe
too, so you
I
can,
can't
you
believe
can argue it's healthy.
Pickleback shots made it to the Sim League Commish Videocast. I'm such a happy camper right now. There's a bar in downtown Orlando that is called Finn Henry's. Shout out to them. I hope I don't get like a copyright or a trademark hit or whatever the hell. But if I'm down
you
there,
fucking imagine.
damn it, TH is he's gonna report me. I could tell he's that guy.
He's already
I'm
mashed the
typing
report
up the
button.
report right
Hey,
now.
I mean, you
as
called out
we
Adam.
speak.
Who called out Adam for being a bad earner? Someone did. I think it was.
I was also no. Adam was a great earner. All right, it was that he retired almost immediately.
So
Tired.
yeah, Ryan Heaves had a bad season to the point that he was throwing, I think, 3 interceptions a game. It was just awful. Like he was determined to lose every game, and that good defense that was behind him was going to have their work cut out for them.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
cool. It's cool that he went to wide receiver because now I can kick your ass at a different position too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting aggressive.
Damn.
know where to find me. A couple of things real quick. First of all, we want to shout out Lim Jae-hee for thank you for the question. He wanted
Great
to shout
question.
out the CC and Bailey, who's also a great user.
Love Bailey.
We had a couple of comments in the chat that I wanted to highlight. Van saying that Iron Brew is if sugar had sex with more sugar, it'd be Iron Brew.
That's 100% accurate. Yeah.
Frick Nasty revealed that he is not in the GFSA or the EFL, so y'all get in his chats real quick.
Yeah, he told me to send him a link. I have
Yeah.
to find him first.
Oh,
But
Frick, you're gonna love the GFSA, bro.
it's yeah. I would
It's-
say our league is definitely the Wild West of sim leagues.
Yes.
So
I have an entire playbook that I hand-picked, and I actually wrote several of the plays and edited most of the rest. Like that's the level of control you get.
yeah. I you and oh man, I'm totally blanking on his name. Mongoose. You and Mongoose like every 2 weeks have a custom playbook, and I'm always like, I can't wait to see how this breaks the AI.
I even started writing defensive
908.
plays.
Goated.
Man, so it's such a fun engine.
Go snow crabs.
You haven't heard of GFSA? Yeah, I mean, we're definitely the smallest league of this, which, you know, I'm fine with. I love it there.
That's why we need that server.
I'm trying to
Because
think
we
how
set up
big we are
the
compared to
GFSA,
the-
almost anytime 10 people show up, we have to expand.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's two-way, double
Yeah.
position.
The league, much like most of our members, are two-way. So you make one player who plays on offense and defense, or one of those and kicker punter.
Yep.
So every person is worth 2 players. So like it becomes a thing very quickly. But it's very interesting. Moving to
Yeah.
the next question so that I can run to the bathroom. This is from The Cheese, who's here
Yeah,
from
cheese.
SFL, SCFSL, EFL, but not SHL, GFSA, or
Ooh.
ISFL.
PDE, because Lucid Dreams wanted to hear me say the entire list in one. If you could expand your leagues, immediately buttholes just clinch when you use the E word, of course.
Damn it, Adam.
Yeah, because it sounds awful.
Somewhere
The E
manic.
word in the ISFL means the C word in the DSFL.
True. If you could expand your leagues, how many teams would you add, and what would they be? Do you see any people for coaches for that spot? You know, just simple questions that are easy to answer.
I want to start this one. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Cheese because Cheese is my GM in the EFL. Go Rates. Need to make that important shout out. It's very important. So it's a great question. One of the things that we've had is kind of a weird sort of scenario in the SCFSL. We have had a great time at getting good quality expansion GMs. Like I've consistently seen that, with the exception of 1 or 2, every single
The
expansion.
Wallabies GMs you hired were bums. They didn't do anything.
Garbage.
It was one of them. But like overall, our actual GMs for expansions have been really good. Mostly because I think people really do want to take sort of the branding into their own hands. So one of the things that we've actually recently introduced in the SCFSL is the idea of league owners, which is basically we're understanding more and more, because this is going to relate back to the question. The other hand is, as opposed to our expansion, our retaining GMs and getting replacement GMs has been an absolute struggle. So huge shout out to Infidel of the Vipers. The Omaha Vipers have gone through 5 GMs, 6 GMs, and I think 4 of them were in the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
Hummus, if you didn't know that, you've had 4 GMs the past 2 seasons.
No, the thing is, they see me and they run. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Infidel has taken over. So huge shout out to him. I was actually supposed to meet him for a brunch today, but he's feeling a little under the weather. So Infidel, if you hear it, I hope you're feeling better.
he's doing.
Um,
he's killing it. By the way, he's probably a better
he's-
GM than I am a commissioner. Let's be honest.
He is one of my favorite people.
I'm
Used
not
to be in
even
head
kidding.
office with
You're
us.
laughing, Dom. I'm not kidding.
No, Infidel's great. Lefty's telling me to update. Yeah. But so anyway, With that in mind, one of the things we've struggled, the idea of the owners is basically it doesn't become about the branding because the GMs sort of feel like they can't leave an impact and they kind of get overwhelmed within our league. If we think about sort of how our league is structured, we're very unique in that aspect. We're probably similar to GFSA in that regard, maybe even less so compared to the EFL, SHL, and PBE, because in terms of mid-season changes and adjustments, and TH, you'll agree with me on this, as you are currently a GM or a co-GM for the Wallabies, the mid-season adjustments that a team has to make is basically zero. You can, in theory, half-ass your entire GM tenure if you give 100% in the offseason and 0% during the regular season and be it more or less effective.
Counterpoint, the Wallabies going 0% went very poorly before I came back.
To be fair, Scorp did that for like 3
historically
seasons.
poorly.
We're going to get them back on track. I
know we are, but wow. Oh, how the mighty fell.
I know, it's great.
Don't worry. We're going to make the Wallabies dynasty great, and we're going to make the Twisters pay for it.
I'm immediately in favor. Of course, HO hates the Twisters.
As long as the Rush don't pay for it.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter to HO as long as the Rush end up on top.
Exactly. I've actually been
more than anything.
Before I finish my thought, I wanted to say I've been secretly thinking about just buying Rush merch, even though I've never played for them, because the joke is that our head office favors that team. So, for the past 7
he
seasons,
says joke because he's part of the head office, guys.
Yeah.
I'm cluing in.
I've never seen any commissioner so openly favor a team
that it doesn't play for.
Yes. Never played for it. It's the one time I was going to sign for them, they pulled the contract out from under me.
In fact, not only have you never played for them, but our entire top of HO triumvirate has never played for them.
Yeah, sure.
Toasty's never played. I've never played for them. Shout out to Toasty, by the way.
Oh, dude.
Just in general. That guy.
Freaking amazing. I will actually, if someone tries to siphon Toasty away, I will get violent. I love that guy.
I will. I will go stab somebody. It's just that simple.
Yeah. But so anyway, back to the thing. I think the idea of having the owners within the question of expansion, I think that's going to help us. We've always gotten consistently good expansion candidates.
Yeah.
And with Adam now handling the part about actually interviewing them, I feel less guilty about saying no to people. So thank you, Adam. And so it's been actually really helpful, and it's been really strong for us as well. We've lost Pirate Captain Dom.
No.
Is he coming back? Now all the...
He's coming back.
Video rate a ship. There he goes.
There we go.
Hey! He's
Hi.
back.
Sorry.
All right, so now we'll give the floor. Now that I've had a 2-minute monologue, I apologize.
I'll say for expansion, for us, we recently expanded, like just this last offseason we did. So we brought in a team in Philly, and we brought in a team in Montreal, and that's been pretty cool. That's been pretty nice. If we had the opportunity for another expansion, I think we're in the same boat as where for us, we've had some up and down applications for existing GM spots. But whenever we get expansion spots, we get everybody in because everybody loves the idea of jumping in and creating a brand new identity, taking over a ship from the start. And I mean, that's, I think, really prevalent in our most recent expansion before this last one. We had New Orleans and Chicago. The Chicago GMs have been in place now for I want to say over 10 seasons, and they just stepped down recently. And the New Orleans GM, Jay Cortesi 81.
Specters.
There you go.
Specters suck.
My buddy.
I have never forgiven them.
As the leading Specters player in terms of postseason efficiency, I am still disappointed they haven't retired my number.
Right, I'll put a word in. But
I was traded from the Specters the season they won the championship to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the year we did the perfect season, baby. 50-0. Mwah.
But yeah, so for us, I mean, like, even Joe, so he was he's the inaugural GM. He's still running that team. So GMs have a big attachment to jumping into expansion teams. If I had to pick, I would go. We always expanded in groups of 2, which I think is the safest bet because I think 1 and 3 are
Yeah, I mean,
awkward.
you don't want to do an awkward
10.
conference.
Just do a
balance.
10. Just see what
Just a
happens.
10-team expansion. But one of our biggest things is, so for us, we in our junior league, a lot of some of like the best hockey destinations are wrapped up in juniors right now. So we've got, like, just right off the top of my head, Vancouver, St. Louis, Detroit, Colorado, Anaheim, Carolina are like the big 6. And so if I were to pick 2 spots I'd want expansion to be in, I would boot 2 of those juniors teams to like another place. I would just move them within the same state. Like, I'd move Colorado to Boulder, I'd move Detroit to Grand Rapids, and I would make the next expansion Colorado, Detroit in the east, Colorado in the west, and just run with that. I think that'd be really cool. Right off the there's so many people I'd put in that role. I know last expansion we had Boom apply. I'd get him in there. Talls has been applying for GM's spots for a while. I'd get Talls in as like a top choice. There's a lot of people. There's a lot. We for our expansions we typically get like 10 to 14 people applying, and they're almost all always good. So yeah.
Want to throw a quick shout out from the chat. Cantaloupe Crocodile for MVP. Don't know what that means, but get him in there.
Yes.
I asked chat from a player perspective, from our perspective, we see a whole different side of expansion than the average player does. We're taking apps, we're interviewing people, we're making our picks. We're kind of dreaming about the future. If we pick them, how is the league going to look in a few years with this team? But from a player's perspective, you're getting exposed, a whole new world to go venture into, potentially if you are exposed. I've heard from people, like, people retire early because of it. They just rather not deal with joining a new team. So chat, I know only 8 voters, small sample size. We love that. But it is interesting that there was the same amount of votes for fun for players for expansion as it was for stress. So it's even. So, like, players, it's as fun as it is stressful, according to the 8 people who voted.
Just to shout out, Noir and Van are going to go pee together now.
No, I have to go.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Now that Noir is gone, I can say that I was very upset when he said best city and then mentioned St. Louis, which is the worst city in the Midwest. Like, are you joking?
I can hear you. The highest murder rate per capita in the U.S.
I do not like St. Louis at all.
I can hear you, by the way.
Good.
Good.
St. Louis is a city whose main celebration are of people trying to leave St. Louis.
I can confirm, a friend I met in 2016 here in Central Florida came from St. Louis and literally told me I'm never going back. So
St. Louis is a good hockey city.
It's a great baseball city. Probably better baseball than hockey. I think it's even. They love their Blues. They love their Cardinals. So
I'm just shitting around.
If we were to expand the PBE, I think we'd probably have to go to St. Louis at some point, just because how much they love baseball there. It's a true baseball town.
Yeah, I think looking at PBE, not a lot of Midwest representation.
Right.
One day, I want to lobby for a Cleveland team in PBE. One day.
Be cool. I mean, I'm biased. I would love a Miami team. We almost had one, and then they realized, we got to change this up. There was literally a team called Miami Beach Flamingos in the 40s, and the MLB actually bought the rights to the branding like 3 years ago. So they had no idea this team existed, and yet they made the team and did all the announcement, everything. And then after the fact, someone told them, and they researched, we may get C&D'd by the MLB at some point. The goal is to blow up, right? I think that's why we try to stick together, us against the internet. So now they're Florida Flamingos. So that then opened up the idea for a Miami team. And I'm from there. So St. Louis and Miami are my 2 cities I think that we need to have in the PBE 100%.
Can I point out here, how bad does a city have to be that someone moves and goes, oh, thank God, I'm in Florida?
Hey, Central Florida is great. We got the parks. We got Disney, Universal,
That's
Islands
true.
of
I
Adventure.
So yeah, I did love Central Florida. It's just
Universal.
Yeah.
So we're getting Nintendo World, and Japan already opened it.
Yeah.
It's up and running smoothly. I've seen all the pictures. It looks insane.
Thanks.
I want to go so bad, dude.
And they're
Yeah,
bringing
that'd be cool.
it here. I think hopefully in the next few years. But yeah,
if you get
Commissioner Nintendo World Vacation when?
that would be pretty
Please.
cool. I mean, we already talked. Pickleback Shots
You
is
know
already
what?
on the menu.
For
so.
all the people wanting a TH face reveal, that's when it happens, baby.
Right on.
Yeah. Someone also yelled at us to make a D&D campaign, which would be so fun and a nightmare.
I would
to
have a great
organize.
time.
I would
that'd be
love
delight.
it, but that would be so hard to
I'd
organize.
100% run a D&D campaign with you guys.
I
Straight up.
will.
You've DM'd
participate.
before?
I have played D&D very few times, but I enjoy it every time I do.
Oh, it's
Likewise,
great.
likewise.
Yeah.
there was a server for D&D at one point, primarily run through the SBA, where you had multiple running mods, and it was a world, and you were slowly building the world by going on missions. You'd sign up for individual missions.
Oh, nice.
It takes time, so they'd be in their own server channel, so it wouldn't be like you all had to be there. It'd be like, oh, it's your turn. You have 12 or 24 hours.
Yeah, that's
If
cool.
not, your people can act for you. So it was nice and organized, and it was a lot of fun. And then I don't remember what happened. But
Bless
either
the
way,
souls of those DMs. Like a kind of spread out. You have 24 hours to make a move, and I have to check in when you make that move.
And what was cool was because you're DMing this group, but you got to play in other groups as well.
That's cool.
To finish off Cheese's question, he also did not shout anybody out. So Cheese and Moody doesn't. Cheese, this is why you got shot near the end of the wire, because you didn't shout anybody out, okay? And because you
Fair.
trade prop Joe, you bastard.
Fair.
Shout out to Method Man. This one's from Moonlight, another phenomenal user, by the way.
Love Moonlight. Shout out to Moonlight.
Moonlight's great.
Great guy.
Legend.
We were in the same draft class in ISFL, and I fucking love that dude. Even though I got drafted to NOLA and he got drafted to OCO, like we DM every now and again. I fucking love them.
I have a Moonlight story, which is I yelled at Adam when we met up in person about how we didn't draft Moonlight for the Arizona Copperheads because he was set at
Arizona
quarterback.
Copperheads.
Whatever. Austin,
quarterback though. But my Moonlight is actually also my Moonlight story is also from that draft. Also touches on NOLA because at the time your GM was Juosu.
I should mention I yelled at him in person.
He did, and then we had a beautiful pretzel. One of the best GM moves I've ever seen was Moonlight started falling, and if you go back to that, Moonlight gets drafted somewhere I think in the 40s, which
It was the third round of that.
So he starts falling, and some of us are realizing, teams are letting him fall on purpose. I made a joke about it, I think, at one point. And then so Juosu comes in there as GM of New Orleans and says, if you don't draft him within the next 10 picks, I'm taking him. And he immediately gets snapped up by OCO and goes on to be arguably the GOAT of the league. So,
wow.
It was also, by the way, for Juosu, because I was in that draft class in S15, the actives on New Orleans when Juosu was making those moves were Juosu, Toivo, who was drafted the season before, and Maj, who was Vladimir Fyodorovich. Coming towards the end of his career, there were 3 actives on New Orleans when Juosu was making those moves. That was a crazy good draft by her.
And Maj had been there so long that I signed him back when I was NOLA GM back in the city.
And I was the one. And yeah, I was GM and I was doing the strats when Maj got his 10,000 yards. But it was 8 yards. We had a sim error, and I know this is a tangent, and I do apologize. But we had put Maj as the primary receiver for the last few games because we were he needs to get to his yards goal. This is what he's been working towards, 10,000 yards. And there was a sim error that made him not the primary receiver, and we lost it. We went fucking crazy. And then there was 1 game left, and they successfully put him in as primary receiver, and he made the 10,000 yards goal by 2 yards at most. It was wild. And yeah, ended up making the Hall of Fame on the back of that. It was such a cool night in the NOLA locker room.
I'd like to point out to CK Royal that I've only actually GM'd in 1, 2, 3 of these leagues. Thank you, sir. Okay. Only
Snow
3.
Crab's legend.
No Crabs Legend. I've been everywhere, man.
What's the third one? I've got GFSA. I've got ISFL. EFL?
I was actually the GM of the Wisconsin Brigade in EFL. We won a title,
Yeah.
and I wrote a battle rap that completely demoralized our opponents.
Not gonna lie.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
all right.
Also the most profane
Message me
slogan
the
of any
link. We'll
team.
play it on stream.
No. It's written. I'm not that stupid.
Howard.
Yes.
I think that's funny, Adam, because I also once, as a point task, wrote a battle rap like dissing the Portland Pythons when I was the Tijuana GM, and I
Bruh.
love that.
It's
You're about to
weird
get
how
booted
often
from this
our
call.
names are on the same.
Go Pythons, baby.
Okay, let's move on to that next question. We actually had a special drop-in question from Frick, which was, can you ask what their opinion is on if a player wants to bank some of their initial
I
PPE
knew
to
it.
pay for a certain attribute? I did not know that there was a pre-existing issue here.
So I also am like only vaguely aware of a pre-existing issue, but can I just comment on how we handle this in the ISFL real quick?
Please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so in the ISFL, when somebody creates, if they spent less than the initial 50 TPE, because that's what we have in the ISFL, we just always message them before approving the player and be like, hey, just so you know, you have bank TPE, whether it's 50 or 1 or whatever, do you like just out the gate confirm that like this is what you want to do and bank this TPE? And if they say yes, they get approved and that's the end of it. And if they say no, we work with them to fix their initial player make. So that's just kind of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, as a side note, I love that this thing decides you were going to be in a position on the window no matter what. Even if you leave and come back, you're going back to that same position.
I love that. It helps
It
me
kills
as
me.
the
I love
OBS
it. Yeah,
master
I'm
over
right
here.
at the bottom, exactly where I belong.
PH is the bottom, confirmed.
Yeah, so Frick asked that because he's velocity pitcher and wanted to put TPE in the bank because he wanted to upgrade velocity, which is a very expensive upgrade.
Yes.
And we had a pretty big discussion about it in management, and certain people from like who hold strong opinions from like who've been in sim leagues for so long said they like that about our league, that we make you do the math and figure out how to get your 100 TPE into all attributes, because it's going to help you down the line to know that. Obviously Frick's been in almost every league, so like that's kind of like he's kind of like an exception to that. But it's just, I guess it's just something that we just kind of do. Like you have 100 TPE in the beginning that you get for free. Please spend all of it. I think it's TH mentioned that there's messages involved. Having it be 100 spent. Most of our approvals are just seamless. Like you see it, you go, you boom. Like if we allowed that, I think there'd be a lot more, red tape, messages back and forth, more work for the approvers. So combining the fact that it's just something that we all just do as a community, just spend that 100 TPE that we can all bond with, and also just like less work for the approvers. I think that's kind of where we stand currently. Obviously, things can always change in the future. If we have enough loud voices about it, we can always listen to them. We tend to try to listen. Frick's like in the chat, I love you, dude. He was like, why are you sad today? He saw me. I'm like, I'm not sad, bro. I'm with my friends. Like, this is fun. What are you talking about?
Oh, this is a blast. I love this.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of where we stand as a league with the 100 TPE is, it's just something one thing that connects us all together, all 400 active users or so, 300 week to week active, but we all at one point had 100 TPE to spend, and we all did it together and spent it all. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, or where we're at, I should say. Great question though, Frick. I'm glad we touched on this topic. There's no question that I'm unwilling to answer, in my opinion.
Unrelated, but this one's for all the parents out there or people who are soon to be parents. No one ever tells you that parenting involves a whole lot of wanting to punch another child. You're like, I can't do that.
Can't or won't.
Can't. I mean,
Little column A, little column B.
yeah. Good parenting is feeling that for your child, and wanting to, punch their enemies into oblivion, but not doing that. So let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Frick. You frickin' Frick. Rec.
yeah.
It's
It didn't
my
want to
general manager. How dare you?
look. It's his name. Like you can't. Shout out to Frick, my friend on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I really am easy to find. It's Rec Mate BMT.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
From SCFSL.
That's so worrisome. Such a concerned response.
Immediately to start the question, I would like to specifically ask TLK.
Yup. And you were wondering why.
Well, I guess the rest of us can take the question off.
Let's all take a moment to look directly at TLK's window. So like we're all staring at him for the question.
Can't see me, but I am. I promise.
I believe you, TH. I just want to point out I will opt out of this contract now.
So I would specifically like to ask TLK, since he always airs me when I ask this question.
What does airs mean in that scenario?
Airs, like as in we're on the air, airs out the question, puts it out there. Do you want to smooch?
Fortunately, I think my wife might get offended.
I love being single.
He did ask. He did ask, which is important.
Yeah.
Funny.
And then he goes to shout out the Twisters because we are goated. ASF. It's AF. First of all, I'm old as shit. Even I know it's AF. ASF has another meaning, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Either way,
I think it's a different style of AF.
thank you, Wreckmate, for trying to house wreck. Next one comes from CJ the Flammenwerfer. Flammenwerfer, I believe.
Yes, yeah, it is a German flamethrower.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who great expansion GM in GFSA, who he's also repping. This is his expansion season. He's 2 games in, and he's currently played a tough schedule. So keep all that context in mind for this question. What's the key to an expansion team being good early on?
Signing sports.
TH, you can answer this
I
one.
was gonna say, I feel like I might be, of all people, in the best position to answer this one, as the former and now current GM of an expansion team that in our first 7 seasons had a plus 90 win rate, 90% win rate. And the key with that, and I mean this completely genuinely, was tampering. Because tampering at the time was legal in the SCFSL, and it went so goddamn well.
Was this the Rush guy?
TLK finally listened to me when I said from the get-go, legal tampering is a bad idea, and he went, no, it's not, and I went, fuck around and see what happens. And
that was a mistake.
Scorp and I
The fact that tampering was legal made the SCFSL amazing.
History.
It made it really good until you realize that the Wallabies in their second, third, and fourth season lost a total of 3 games.
Wow.
They were
real good.
That sounds great.
It's like
if my Dolphins lost 3
is,
games, I'd be thrilled.
Legal tampering is really good.
3 years.
3 seasons, 3 losses.
Insane. This is the Wallabies, right?
Now,
the New Zealand Wallabies, which pisses off Ben so goddamn much that I am completely unwilling to change it. Even if the name makes no sense.
Is there a way SCFSL can go back to tampering? Because we talked about on the first episode of the Commish Videocast. Thank you to everyone who tuned in for that. But I called SCFSL the Drunks Happy Sim League Reunion.
If you want to make SCFSL tampering legal again, I promise you TLK will not be on the Wallabies much longer because this rebuild will turn itself around, baby.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and here's my thoughts on legal tampering. And TH, let me know if you think I'm wrong on this base.
Oh, by all means.
Who'd we lose?
We lost tact.
It was an honor.
Oh, he said he had a hard stop, didn't he?
He
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
Love
let me.
you,
No,
I
Tact.
was assuming he'd weigh on before he ditched off. I wouldn't have fucking
Yeah.
kept talking so long.
Oh.
It is confirmed that Tom Hanks hates everyone here. So keep going,
Yes.
TLK.
So here's my thought. If everything is equal, and let's say TH, and let's run this thing out, let's assume
Sure.
that every single GM in the SCFSL, or at least 80%, are as good at tampering as you are.
Bullshit.
Oh man, that's a
Big call out.
big ask. in
That's
the,
a big
first
ask.
place.
And then legal tampering makes sense. But because, as you pointed out, that's a big ask. If everyone is not as good at tampering as other people, all of a sudden, whoever's the best at tampering essentially wins every single time.
I mean,
Because it's
like,
just first
for-
to the punch.
Absolutely. For what it's worth, like my contract in the ISFL with Baltimore, I'm legally tamperable at all times because I know that there's like fuck all somebody can say to me where I'll be like, oh dang, I'm gonna leave this team that I was drafted at 1 overall to help rebuild. Like, that's just not gonna happen, and it's asinine to insist tampering rules and like there's no reason to have them, and B, the only reason like it would ever come up was somebody accidentally gets in trouble. Everybody knows like, I'm not going anywhere. But as soon as you make tampering legal across the board, and like I know there are still a ton of instances where it's more or less accidental tampering, and like I have as commissioner had to punish some of those, and I hate it. But like, if tampering's legal across the board, the entire league ends up becoming a popularity contest, which is exactly what happened in the SCFSL when Scorp and I went fucking buck wild and tampered everybody. Like, it's theoretically a good thing because those like accidental tampering cases suck.
Yes.
Like,
of course.
when they're legal, like when the whole thing is legal, the whole thing becomes a farce. And that's why I've always been against legal tampering and why I like really struggle with it, and why when I went from the get-go in the SCFSL, I went to TLK and I went, I really don't think this is a good idea. And then he ended up watching
I
the
agree with you.
consequences.
But
Like, it was just
I think if I
Just what
hadn't
it is.
seen it, I definitely would never have still believed you. So I'm glad I actually got to experience it.
yeah.
Blake Maiden actually asked a really good question, which is, isn't legal tampering normal in ECFA recruiting? ECFA is the basically minors for the EFL, I believe. And if I'm wrong,
It's a shame Tack left.
I know, because I would have loved to have him there. But like, I'll put it this way: if it's legal tampering is a little different in that every player at any given point in time is able to be contacted by any team. So, yeah, I think it was a mistake, but I'm really glad we got to try it out and sort of say, this is our case for it, this is our case against it. And I'm glad that we did it when it was still in the fledgling stages of our league rather than
And
later on and
Scorp
changing.
and I get the pleasure of being the reason a lot of SCFSL rules exist.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
get to answer this question earlier, just because, timing and whatnot. If I could be the commissioner of any other league, 100% SCFSL. It's the one I know the rules in and out of because I am in part the reason for a lot of them.
It's like me with ISFL. I have had more rules
Exactly.
written as a result of me in the ISFL than any other league. And any other player in the ISFL, in fact.
I want to point out that I
Absolutely.
literally offered Tom Hanks that job, and he said no.
It's true. The problem was that I was and still am the DSFL commissioner.
And also, he didn't consult me about it either.
No. When we needed GMs, I, as the number 2, basically sought to replace TLK so I could make him a GM.
I was gonna say it's almost shocking to me that you weren't at least aware of that, because that was a conversation Adam and I had for like an
I let him know.
extended period of time.
I told him this is what's happening. This is what I'm working on doing. We were very desperate for GMs at that point. So
Oh, it was like we
Um,
struggle with getting GMs for teams that exist.
that's okay. We're working on it.
I
We're
gotta
working on it.
believe SCFSL is the only sim league ever. Like, not even just the ones that have been on this podcast, just full stop fucking ever. That HO is easier to find than GMs.
Easily.
Yes.
That's crazy, right?
And
Yeah.
and the reason we figured out, and I figured out at least in part thanks to my conversations with you, Tom, was like we're not telling people the GM job correctly in that league. And so what TLK was saying earlier is true a lot of the time. Most of the season you can just kind of take it off. You can literally sort of half-ass your GMing job and be perfectly fine there, which I don't think people really realize. So like people were expecting like here's the level of challenge and puzzle that I'm gonna do as a GM here, and really it's like here, and it's here for like 2 weeks, and everyone else is kind of on that wavelength as well. But to go back to tampering real quick, just want to point out for all the tampering fans in the audience,
A
GFSA still has modified legal tampering.
modified legal tampering.
It's very
Modified.
It's
technical. It's
It-
very technical,
like-
but yes, yeah. Like I said, we're the Wild West. I mean,
So you give a GM a 3-hour notice, and either you just go at that point, or they tell you yes and you go anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The GMs don't have a say in it. You're just warning them. It's a courtesy call that I added to the original rule, which was just do it in private. I was like, let's
dude, Zelly designed the rulebook in such a weird way. I love that guy.
I thinking on the
genuinely,
example of the Wallabies was like,
I can't imagine the hate. Like, people already hated Scorp and I in the SCFSL. I cannot imagine the level of hate we would have received if we gave a warning. Like, it was one thing when it was just like people leave. It's a whole other thing if we were like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna message this player and you're about to lose them, and there's fuck all you can do about it.
well, I feel like if you phrase it that way, that might have something to do with the hate.
Look, you've met Scorp. If you think that wasn't the way he would have phrased every goddamn message.
Absolutely say he wouldn't have phrased it that way, because they would have spent 3 hours trying to decipher what he was typing.
Shout out to Scorp.
All right, I think we are leaving.
I miss that
Nora
voice so
and,
goddamn
August
much.
out.
I'm chilling.
Let's
I'm cool.
Yeah, let's get another question going.
thank you, CJ, for your question. The answer to your question is get good.
That's the answer to a lot of questions.
I to be a little more on topic, I have seen maybe 6 league expansions in every sim league I've been in. I have seen one that team was instantly successful. You know,
it's hard to
I
do.
mean,
New Zealand, baby.
We talked about it earlier. The poll
I
said
guess Knights in a long stretch,
Right.
maybe.
it's
but
stressful and it's fun. It's the people who voted stressful know if I've been on a team my whole career and I'm like at that time where I'm in the exposed era of my career, then how badly do I want to go to that expansion team? Like all I know is one thing. I know one branding. I know one set of users. We know each other's families. Like it becomes a whole different experience for those people who are getting exposed. So a lot of the time you get exposed. And a lot of the time those players are looking for ways to get back to that team. So what happens is you get exposed, you get picked up, and then that expansion team is rebuilding by the trade back method of like, hey, GM, please find a way to get me back to my team. Okay, cool. I'll make sure I get a fair trade back, and then I can build for my future. So like what Dom said, it's so hard to get that instant success because it's the human element of the affinity to your branding, your team, the users, the friends, the relationships. All of that is built into ourselves. That's why this is so cool, because there's so much human element. When you're playing franchise mode in Madden or in like NHL or in like out of the park. Like not to plug them, but I'm going to plug them. You're clicking on players. They don't have hearts. They don't have brains. They're just in your simulation engine. But when you're a GM of a sim league, you're like, okay, I got humans I have to talk to. I have humans that are going to talk back to me when I say, hey, you're getting exposed. It's a whole different experience. So like what Dom said, coming out the gate and competing as an expansion team is difficult. Why? Because if I'm on a team for 10 seasons and that's all I know, then I'm going to try to come back to them because I want to finish my career there because I started there and I've put up all these stats already. So.
Okay.
That's why I keep following
From
my
an
path.
ISFL perspective, I 100% agree with you.
Thank
From
you.
an SCFSL perspective, I think it's worth noting we didn't even have an expansion draft.
Yes.
We
That's
had
true.
free agency and the draft, and that was it. We had
I think-
absolutely no power to take people off their current teams.
I want to point out, free agency in the SCFSL is, if you've
Fucking
never
wild.
seen it,
It's
ignore it. You
amazing.
should check it out. I'm going to invite you to a
It's
server
just
invite free agency.
insanity.
Because it is
Shout to
the
Laser
greatest
recruited me in free agency last
we've
time.
ever seen. Like, it is absolutely wild. I say this with confidence. We have the best free agency system in terms of like actual.
You
people
have the
moving.
most free agency moves for sure.
It is just fun. It is
Okay.
a pain for me. But
Couple things. First, if you love expansion, the GFSA is your best chance to watch an insane 4-team expansion because of how quick the league can expand. CJ wanted to do a quick shout out to Dom for fucking him over the first 2 weeks of GFSA. That was the schedule we mentioned earlier.
did he play us?
No, not yet.
No.
Oh, so he hasn't even had the
he
tough part
played.
yet.
He played the 2 highest rated overall teams in the Aviators and Space Cowboys.
Yeah.
We have a comment in chat of Up the Dragons, so people are hyped for
Dragons.
Denver Dragons.
Right. Let's
Dragons hype.
let's go to the next question. We have officially hit the halfway point of questions. So that's how
Jesus Christ.
Halfway point.
All right.
This is why we read them beforehand.
Mythrender, my GM in ISFL, he's here representing the
Great user.
ISE and SCSFL. How much
Sorry,
did the
W, please.
pandemic contribute to the growth of our leagues, and is there an impending collapse and contraction of all leagues as things gradually open up again? Way to keep it positive, Myth.
Hold up. One more time. Read that question one more time.
Will do. We've got AW13 randomly joining us in the chat.
What's up, AW?
How much?
What up,
Shout out AW.
How much did the pandemic contribute to the growth of our leagues? And is there an impending collapse and contraction of all the leagues as things gradually open up again?
Wow, what a fucking big
yeah,
question.
I mean-
I'd like to answer.
Okay. Go ahead, Theo.
So I'd like to say, probably out of everyone here, I have been in sim leagues the longest in the bunch.
Nerd.
I know. I'm a freaking nerd. To give a perspective, my first league I joined was the ISFL. To give a perspective of
Yeah.
time, I joined that in its second season, which was about 4 seasons after the SHL had started up. Just to give a real perspective of time.
To give a real
Alright.
perspective of
I
time.
have been in the PBE since its inception, and obviously everything that came after it. Just so you all get a sense of time as to sort of where I am and how I've been. I think it's a fantastic question because we started actually right at the start of COVID, really.
Can
I
I
think
interrupt you for 1 second to shout out us all watching Hummus almost run into his own wall there for a second?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
really something. Yeah.
The hell yeah.
Yeah.
Simo, I want to point out because you brought up with the all-time in the ISFL, it still doesn't know how to bloody update. I know how to bloody update. I know how to update. That's not the problem. The problem is the time. You know how much I'm running around.
True.
GFL has
That's
the
why you
exact
should
same
join
issue
the
with me.
super casual and GFSA.
You know, I was thinking about joining the super casual. I hear there's not much of a commitment in terms of time. But so with the COVID question, I want to get back to that because I think it's a fascinating one. I think we might see, if this is kind of an answer, I don't think we're going to see a loss of users in the same way, especially within the context of my league in terms of just it. But I think in terms of sort of with the affiliation and sort of the cross-league sort of lack of time commitment that's required from each of them, I think you're actually not going to see as much of a drop-off. There will be absolutely a drop-off when everything starts opening up in a post-COVID world when we hit that point. But I think, and this is kind of my thought, which is we just need sort of to recognize that we may not see as much recruitment because people may feel like they have less time. But I think right now is probably in that point, or the past 2 months, I'd say look at the recruitment there and sort of use that as the benchmark for where to look at going forward.
Yep. Yeah. Great point by TLK. And great question, by the way. Jeez Louise. We got lucky. I think a lot of leagues got lucky when COVID hit. I mean, as bad as COVID was, it was absolutely terrible. But if there was one thing that COVID allowed us humans to do around the world was to be closer to our computers. So we had some of our biggest classes ever in the PBE, and I guarantee you other commissioners around this panel will be able to attest to that too. So it's a great question about the world opening up, and I'm just gonna backpack TLK. You can't expect that COVID class of what we had, like 120. We call it the COVID class. I mean, it's messed up, but it's like, the world closed down. Everyone kind of saw sim leagues as a new avenue to interact with people, because the average person would rather interact with people in real life. But when you can't do that, this was actually an incredible avenue for people to connect with others. So you can't expect 120 every 2 months to join your league. At least for us, you can't expect a class of 120 creates every single recruitment. So I love that from TLK. It's about just looking in the mirror and being like, okay, the world is opening up now. What did we get? Okay, that's what we should be shooting for each time, not what we shot for back in March of 2020.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like, I know I was talking about the last ISFL recruitment on RNFL, but the one before that was season 22, which more or less our COVID class. Like, it was kind of a perfect storm of it. Was like the real perfect storm, I say, when it's a global pandemic, but it was an RNFL class like right at the height of the pandemic, and it was like I can't remember the exact figure, and my laptop's not loading the draft class right now, but it was like a plus 200 person class that came in all of a sudden, and people were talking about it afterwards, being like, well, immediately we're going to need another expansion after this because we're expecting another class this size, and it's like, well, it's just not going to happen, like it was the perfect amount of everybody being on their computers and advertising in the right place that just isn't going to happen again without something awful happening, and let's hope that doesn't happen, right? Like,
I like that you kept it as a generic people were talking about expansion.
Look, you were only one of the several people, Adam. Don't you worry.
But I wrote the article that made people angry.
That is very true.
10 pages of responses.
I'm curious to learn about, because we heard from 2 PT affiliates. Now I want to hear from the third. SHL's involvement with how recruitment's been, where it was, early 2020, mid 2020, late, mid to late to now. Has it been consistent? Have you seen a drop off? As commissioners, I think those are numbers that we kind of pay attention to more than anything.
For us, yeah, I mean, I'd echo the same sentiments you guys said. It's like a lot of let me just drink a little bit more. Hang on.
By the way, while
right,
you're I'll chime in and say that if GFSA ever got a class of 200, we'd basically just quit the league. Because there's just
It's hopeless at that point.
Abort, reject.
Our 8-team league would suddenly need to be 16 teams.
No.
For us, like a lot of our big classes, like I mentioned before, I've always been Reddit. So I think with we haven't seen like a big COVID jump in terms of gigantic classes. Like we've seen what I would call, I guess, more consistently sized classes is what I've seen from that. Just because, like, you know, like you mentioned, everybody's at home. I know, like, just from a personal example, I know, like, for me, I've always been big on like online communities, whether it's like this or video games or anything like that. So that, like, I think what the pandemic did was open up the idea of online communities to like the average person, which I think helped all of us in a way. Like, for, like, my personal example would be like my at home, my sister has never really been more of like a hanging out with an online community sort of person, but she immediately jumped into like Discord and things like that like once the pandemic hit. So I think for us we got to see more like as opposed to like gigantic classes, we just never saw any bad classes. Which I think the like going forward for us, it's held consistent thus far, but obviously with things opening back up and things slowly returning back to normal, you can't like expect every class to have that level of consistency. But what I think we're striving to do is it's the same thing we were talking about earlier with user retention, right? Like where it's like now the game has changed where it's not so much like, okay, can we pull people in because they have all this free time, and now it kind of shifts more towards like can we incentivize people to stick around here while they're while things are opening back up and things are going back to normal. And I guess one thing that might help with that is the fact that because the pandemic saw a lot of people shift to like at home work, and like, a lot of companies seeing like, oh, this is pretty feasible. Like, I know for me personally, I have a whole bunch of my friends who've said like, while they're not like fully transitioning to at home work, a lot of their workplaces are switching from like a 5-day work week to like 3 there, 2 at home, or 2 there, 3 at home. So I
God,
do
I
think
wish
that
that were
like
me.
yeah, dude, for real. I work in retail, so I don't have that benefit, but
I work from
shitty ass retail job. But I do think that there is some long lasting benefits even as COVID ends that will still impact our league policy. Like I said, a lot of it comes down more to retention more than anything, and seeing like, okay, if we can get the same number of classes that we were pulling during pandemic, the next question to solve is how do we make it so that we retain 50% of that class as opposed to 40 or 70 instead of 60, right?
An interesting thing with the ISFL, which has been like pretty consistent across my entire time in the league, is like we don't tend to see significant change in retention class to class, which is like genuinely bizarre. Like we'll have a class of like 70 and then a class of, like I said with S22, 200 will have the same rate of retention. It's a very bizarre phenomenon that I've really only seen in ISFL, which is just no matter what, we can reach the same percentage of users. So like the just area we're recruiting from becomes more or less the most significant thing, because we're pretty confident in the idea that like no matter what, we have this percentage of users who will be sticking around. You know?
I think it has to do with like the octopus arms of the league, who it takes humans to help keep humans retained. Like you don't just join a league and then you like just stick on your own. It kind of takes a mentor or a GM. It's
for sure.
those people
And
who have that inviting personality. So those people can only withhold a certain amount of people per like person. Like you have your retention users who are good at keeping people around. You can't. So those people can't feasibly withhold a whole class of people. So it's going to come down to like how much those people can handle, right?
As the minor leagues commissioner, shout out to our 2 rookie mentor heads, Wolkers and Schwarz, the whole rookie mentor team, and all the DSFL GMs, because it's genuinely been a pleasure to see how successful they've been at retention. Like when I say it's been consistent, like it's been consistently like, in sim league terms, like really high. we've done a real good job of like while we've struggled in recruitment, our retention numbers are really high, and a lot of that comes down on behalf of our rookie mentor and DSFL GM team, and they've just done a phenomenal job.
Okay, so
We didn't hear from AW. I don't know because you haven't said anything yet.
retention.
Yeah.
We love you.
Face
Jump
and
in,
voice
jump in.
reveal for AW, by the way. I've never heard you
Come
speak.
on in.
Never seen you before.
I know I don't usually do this, but I like it.
Oh wait, I did hear your
But-
podcast, the Aviator Pod. Sorry to cut you off.
$20 is $20. That's what you say at the end of it. I don't really you do this, but
$20 is $20. Yeah, EFL saw a lot of users coming in, and we actually expanded like 4 teams. Like it's probably been like 9 seasons ago now, but we expanded 4 teams. Probably should have done 2, but with the way that the Draft Day Sports Pro Football works, we wanted to kind of keep the schedule the same. I know ISFL they did a couple things where they switched the schedule a couple times, which obviously it worked out fine. We want to kind of keep the same sort of consistency, so we expanded our minor leagues and our major leagues by like 4 teams over the last few years, and we are seeing a bit of a drop off in terms of retention. So we're definitely looking to kind of spice things up. So us at the BOD, the board of directors, we're just kind of thinking of ideas how we can improve retention, maybe have it easier for people to start up, because it's kind of a harder thing to start. So when you can get in, maybe get to a higher TPE right away, start feeling it earlier on. And then we also have like a recruiting process as well. And so that can definitely take a toll on like management and stuff like that. So what we do is like we have athletic directors, and they'll reach out to new users and be like, hey, join my team, you get the scholarship, whatnot. So a lot of people get burnt out if they're not getting all the new people coming in. And so we're consistently trying to look at things, but we have a great user base, and we're just kind of in that growing stage and figure out how we can improve. So.
Yeah. You kind of, as a sim league, for recruitment, there's like pockets. There's the recreates, who I think you should always be trying to recruit, and that's just making sure people are doing their day-to-day or week-to-week tasks as a league to make sure it's running smooth. Because as someone who's retiring, you'd want to join back into that league that you retired into if it's at a good place. So I think that's an underestimated part of recruitment, is keeping the people you have there. Because a lot of the time you just kind of, it's like out of mind. Like you're so focused on those new users. It's important to focus on those too, the ones that are trying to recreate. But yeah, getting new users, there's always new avenues. It was EFL who had the YouTube ad, no, VHL who had the YouTube ad thing. Would love to get them involved at some point in this federation, to ask them about that. Literally get free game off them, because we're always in PBE trying to look at ways to get new users, and with baseball being a quote unquote dying sport, I think that makes it kind of difficult. To put it in perspective, there's 4 football leagues here tonight, 1 hockey, 1 baseball. That kind of shows you where each sport's popularity is ranked. It's like football and then hockey and baseball kind of tied in. So being a baseball league, I think, kind of
Lack
puts
of a
us at
better word.
I would
Hell
actually-
yeah.
I would like to say I think also engine availability matters, because I think, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your main point.
No,
but this is
great point, TLK. Amazing point.
But I think if we look at it, like I can name the number of soccer leagues I've seen. Soccer is the world's most popular sport, and yet we haven't seen a successful soccer sim league in any.
It's such a shame, because Football Manager is such a good engine. It just doesn't have the customers
and that's exactly it.
ability that you want.
Yeah, it's like
GRSL.
it's like
Grassroots, right? Yeah, we've all
Yeah.
heard that story, I think, in
Oh, yeah.
It's a
different
sad one.
different
But
whispers.
so it's it's sort of the thing about the engine. It's the engine does matter. I've been in leagues that have literally used Madden, and not Madden 08, mind you. I'm talking like recent version of Madden. And so as a
Like that
result,
you're shit talking Madden when we use Draft Day Sports Pro Football. Like
yeah,
that's
but
the
there's no, you
fucking
can't make an
elite.
index in Madden. Just like in the SBA can't use 2K because you can't make an index
there
out of
actually
2K.
is a
exactly.
giant,
Yeah.
there's a
For a
giant
lot of
league.
reasons.
I want to look into how the heck they index it.
Yeah, I'm
Some
wondering
very-
how they automate stat tracking too.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably join. My guess
But,
is
like-
that they don't.
Do you guys know why the ISFL
Manual.
uses Draft Day Sports? Like why it used Draft Day Sports 16 for like 26 years or whatever.
It's a great
26
engine,
yeah.
great index.
It was the one sim that Baller could get for free. That's why we use Draft Day Sports.
That sounds
Wow.
That
about
is
right.
a fact of the league.
That's a crazy story.
Okay, wrap up this
But
question.
so, like, the
Try to-
index part matters because,
Yes.
like, it took
Nice
us.
try, Adam.
Oh, it's remarkable. It's worked as well as it did. It's just that that's how we got there.
Okay. So, real quick, Myth wanted to shout out Tom Hanks for being the best.
Oh yeah, Myth.
DSFL is best SFL.
And confirm.
So the rest of the questions, because we still have 13 questions.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna be a little bit more rapid fire.
Yeah,
on
let's go.
this.
Maybe
Yeah,
one
no,
one
yeah,
answer.
We really should. I
one
feel
answer per
bad.
question
Speed
for
round.
one panelist.
Oh, good. Nameless Nate is here from the Super Casual League.
He has 2 questions, I believe.
How does your head office or head office equivalent get along with the other bodies in your league? That being GMs, minors, HO, appeals teams.
One
et cetera, et
panelist.
cetera.
Let's get to the next question.
I'm guessing since I'll go.
I mean, I
Ours
can go
gets
too.
along. Yeah, really. This is kind of it. The problem is one panelist. I know.
No.
It's different relationships. I think.
Yeah, it's different relationships. Everyone's got it a little different. HO
Sure.
in PBE started with a rocky fight against the GMs, and
Still is.
not as bad. Nowhere near as bad.
Who said still is
I'm-
AW? Go away.
Shout out to the unnamed person who was involved in that's touched all our leagues, and we won't say his name because if you say his name, he appears.
Oh, you say it 3 times like Beetlejuice.
If you've had to kick him out of your league at some point, just raise your hand.
You can't
Wait,
see,
your league?
however.
You can raise your hand too.
But so anyway, so to answer the thing, I think we get along really well with our GMs. I mean, one of the things is actually, funnily enough, the person whose name won't be named, his commissionership has helped drive me to what exactly not to do for my commissionership. So in a lot of ways, and so I actually take that to kind of look at sort of how our GMs input. Like, for example, with the exception of the one rule this season where I said, I'm the simmer, I'm the commissioner, I can make this call that we are reducing our number of games a week from 3 to 2 because my schedule is swamped and I'm the only major league simmer. So I can pull that card. Beyond that one rule, everything else has had GM input, GM vote, and GM discussion. Like, we have had a great working relationship with all of those members. In addition, our head office is also job heads for most of them. So we have a good rapport with them since we are them.
All right.
As an SCFSL GM, that's a fucking lie. The SCFSL hates all GMs that aren't the Rush.
That's true.
No, but TH, you even know this. I talk to you like on the side a
Oh
million
no,
and a half times.
we talk even when I was like, you like full on screwed the Wallabies here. We've like had like 40-minute voice calls where you were like, I am sorry, that did happen, that was a mistake. I respect and appreciate that.
Right. As I always like to say, I will screw up 1.5 million times, and I will always be transparent about everything that goes on. I have told one team the exact opposite of what I've told TH, both times believing I was completely consistent.
I have no idea how frustrating that was.
It's so bad because the worst part is I know my weakness. I'm confident in my answers. And so as a result, I go forward from there because I believe I'm getting it right, even though I'm not.
This is why he handles the macro of the league now, and I do the day-to-day stuff. So I'm going to take a suggestion from Blade Maiden in chat, and we're going to take the remaining questions and hold them for next time. So we won't do a question thread next time. So now we have like an open forum to chat a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah,
So,
let's just
AW,
talk. Chat,
Maybe you
ask
can
us
say-
questions. We want to take questions from Twitch chat tonight.
Yes.
If you're here, there's a lot of you who have been here asking questions. And a great idea, Blade Maiden, because that forces us to get the idea going. We should probably do this again. Like,
Yeah.
We already said
based
we're
on
doing it on
how
SHL.
easy it's been. Yeah, and the time has
On
been
our brand
flying.
new Super Sim League Discord.
We
Yes.
already have one person interested. Remember, text if you can. Message your
Texas.
commissioner and also message me, and I'll make sure you're on the list, and we'll put stuff together for that, for the super server.
That does remind me, I've got one of the guys from SHL, Artemis, who's going to be messaging Adam and Hummus. I don't know if he's already messaged you guys, but yeah.
I was going to mention Artemis. You stole it. But you deserve to mention it because that's your boy. But yeah.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Artemis, thank you for messaging me. He sent the red laser eyes when he talking about like creating the server. So it's cool that just an idea that we came up with together tonight. We're getting engagement from people who want to help with us. So thank you, Artemis, for helping us out.
I will say, fun fact about those red laser eyes. That's just you guys know GWD Johnson. He's on a few sim leagues. Gabe?
I'm well aware.
That's him. Yeah, that's just him. That's an emote of him.
I won't say which of you he mentioned in his message to me.
Oh, I love that question. If you guys could switch sports
upsetting.
For your league, what sport would you pick?
Golf.
Baseball.
I'm waiting for like a super.
Who said baseball?
Curling.
Right here.
No,
I'm going baseball.
That's my
I'm going
boy.
baseball.
I think I would try to make a soccer league work. I don't even like soccer that much. I feel like if you could get an even competent soccer league going, you would have so much user engagement.
Oh,
like
for
it's
sure,
crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if sport is the right word, but for those of you who have spoken to PDX about this, food truck sim league will happen eventually. Hell yeah, I know TLK's on board. We've discussed this
Making me
many a
hungry.
time.
I just want a super casual version of every other sport league.
Adam
Yeah.
loves my model. What can I say?
It would be cool.
We have one.
Super casual league.
I want my dream sim league is sim league, where you
That's been
put
done.
TP into creating.
I'll say, I know for a
sim
fact
league.
you also did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fantasy sim league though. It wasn't a sim league sim league. It wasn't a sim league.
Sim league,
died-
sim
it
league. Your
died quick.
TPE goes into developing your commissioner for your sim league, who will then use those. I've got this
I
whole
know,
thing figured out. I just need legend now. But in all honesty, one of my favorites that I'd love to see revived, and I would probably do again if I could with the SCFSL model, would probably be stock car racing. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Score.
No.
Adam is,
I'm not,
Yeah.
but you do have my interest.
right?
Wally.
Interestingly, when Artemis messaged me the last time we had messaged was regarding Score. So
That's cool.
Score was great. It's also got a bit of PBE drama linked to it. So fun fact.
Oh, if there's
The
drama
plot thickens.
involved, I know a few people who are in.
what does
Shout out to my boys in
Power
the
has an F1.
Tijuana
behind it.
alumni chat who only exist to alert people
Who's
to
Bauer?
other sim league drama.
Okay,
Beaver,
Bauer,
Peyton, Ben, my boys.
why are Peyton and Ben always somewhere and Beaver somewhere near the they're not in the drama, but they always roll up like the old guys from the Muppets.
Oh, genuinely, yeah.
Group
So
chats.
there is a chat room in the Tijuana locker room, which is just essentially like the alumni chat, but like people who were either ultimately winning GMs or like captains or whatever. It's just everybody who was like at one point in the war room that isn't anymore, and then also the people currently in the war room. And that has essentially just become a drama chat. So anytime there's drama in any of the leagues, that thread goes fucking buck wild. There are links going and people sharing opinions.
That's great.
I'm
That's
familiar.
kind
for
of
sure.
just my tie to all league drama that isn't already in the ISFL.
So
Now,
we need the drama
Would
Squad
you?
channel.
Would you?
Thankfully, all the drama's in the ISFL anyway, so you're connected to it. Yeah.
Hey, don't sell us short, bro. We got our fair share. Come on.
Yeah,
Email.
SHL?
First of all, ISFL has had a rough 2 seasons. But let's
Yeah.
be clear about one thing: SHL is the drama league king.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Historically, are you kidding me?
Listen,
Shit eating
listen.
grin from North. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Listen. You're absolutely right. 100%. Drama in our league is so bad that when this, we just haven't had a period of drama for so long that dudes who were beefing in the ISFL just came and started drama in the SHL. They're like, fuck it. Let's do it on another forum.
Yeah.
They'll take
One of
drama.
the people involved, I'm DSFL commissioner, former member of DSFL HO, involved in that.
It's sick. I kind of like it.
Now, if we have the
I know I said
federation,
this last time I was. I know I said this last time I was really drunk, but I like the drama. Honestly, I live for it.
Okay.
we just can't engage. We can. It's like you can watch but don't touch. You know.
Fun to observe.
More than anything, I love PBE and SHL drama because I am so vaguely related to it. I know
Right.
what's going on.
I feel the same
without
about both
having
your
to deal
leagues.
with any of the consequences. I'm such a fan.
You do realize,
I love
Nor,
just watching it.
if you get rid of forums, that's a huge stab into the drama fiend's heart. You know that, right?
You say that, but with the new Discord threads, just
Yep.
wait till I start some drama in the SCFSLT, okay?
Okay,
Just
but
imagine-
let's talk about our
okay.
drama. We've had
Listen,
4
listen.
cases in 10 seasons.
Listen. Imagine this.
For
Imagine
now.
this. Imagine this. Big Discord for your league. You got instead of a Thunderdome, you want to call a guy out, you just drag him into a thread with you. You just tag Reddit. You say you're beefing in the general chat and you just tag the guy and you be like, yo, loser, in this chat now, let's go.
That's
know
the
what?
Discord version of let's take it outside.
Literally.
I would love to see this. I think
sounds
I'm
dude,
going to
I
stick
eat it
around.
baller.
Dude, I got popcorn right now. I'll eat it up.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick
I'll
around the
fucking
SHL
buy a
Discord
popcorn
just
maker
for that.
for that shit.
So everyone take that as your cue. Create or recreate in the SHL, and then everybody take all your drama there.
Okay, I need another.
Call me out.
I
need
have
another
a player in the
Scandinavian
SHL.
awesome.
Shout out Jakob Hammer, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God damn
I'll
it!
recreate
boys,
in the
Tom
SHL.
Fiddler.
Give me a name.
Now, if we do the big server that we've been hyping up, that we hopefully will follow through with,
I think we will.
Yeah, we have our own lounge server right now, so I think having that is step one. Since we talk about drama, we don't ignore it. We don't ignore the engagement it brings, right? Would we do something in the server about it? Because we're all upfront about knowing about what the entertainment it brings. Should we have something in that server? Should we not? Is that something?
In my defense, living in Greenwich Mean Time, usually I end up finding out about drama after the fact. It happens, and then 12 hours later, I go to work and I open Discord and I have 24 pings being like, "Have you seen this shit?"
Yep.
Yeah.
So I
That's the
really
GFSA
don't
special.
know that I can help all that much from my end.
I
Like,
mean, you
where-
need enforcers just to shut it down when it gets out of hand.
Right.
Like,
And I'm not a fan of
It's not me.
censorship, but I am a fan of making sure that, if we're here to kind of for a reason, and when a thread goes off on tangents on separate topics and it starts getting super personal, I think that can kind of hinder people's experience with your league. So
I mean, I
the
think
lock
you're right.
thread is necessary at when the time is right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it'd be naive to be like, oh, cyberbullying just isn't a thing.
Exactly.
It's just it is a
Boom.
thing that happens, and occasionally locking a thread and whether you want to call it censorship or whatever, it's
I
just
think Artemis put it best.
there
It's
is
not censorship.
no way this is gonna go well. You just need to make that fucking call, you know?
It needs to happen at a certain point. I do love healthy conversations, healthy arguments where it's about
Absolutely.
when it's about the matter at hand, a certain topic, and not each other, not the personal.
Oh, for sure.
That-
And like and
yeah.
criticism is legitimate. Like
Yes.
I'll be one of the first people to say like ISFL has had some like legitimate issues with things like clarification, explanation of things, and like questions do need to be asked, and there's a ton of things that go into that. But like,
I agree.
it-
Yeah.
goes into the realm of like this has stopped being productive and has just started being people hurling fucking insults at each other. It's just not fun for anybody anymore, and lock it down. You know.
Exactly. You need the channel for hurling insults at each other. Where
Nora, that McFlurry looks amazing.
For
Dude,
real.
my sister just texted me saying, I got you a McFlurry. I damn near started sobbing, honestly.
Can we switch
Oh my
families?
God. What did you get? Wait. I need to figure out if my friendship with Nora is going to keep going. What did you get in your McFlurry?
But can I swallow it first?
Yes, absolutely.
Frog sugar.
But this is
Let
the most
the man
important
eat,
question.
bro. He's been on this.
Listen. Here's the deal. This is going to sound crazy. It's a Smarties McFlurry, but Canadian Smarties are different from American Smarties, okay? They're not the
It's a
same
fact.
thing. They're
Like
not the
Canadian
same thing.
Smarties are
No.
better than American Smarties.
No, they're like not even the same candy. Like, okay.
Nah,
So
they're
is it like a
giant
Mars
M&Ms.
bar in,
That's what they are.
Okay.
Like M&M's.
So in Canada, Smarties are just flatter, wider M&Ms.
Got it.
And what you guys have is Smarties, those little chalky candies.
Rockets.
Yeah.
They're
No.
called Rockets here.
Okay, so it's
So
like
it's not like chalky ice cream. It's like
yeah.
chocolate,
It's like it's like Three Musketeers and Milky Ways in the UK.
but-
No, because
No.
having lived in both places, they're very different.
Mhm.
But also,
No, but like they're different candies altogether. Is more what I'm trying.
Entirely, not even the same.
no, Van. Sorry, Van is responding in chat now. Smarties, no.
Nope.
All right, listen.
They're genuinely just full on like giant M&Ms, my man.
They bang it. Canadian high five, dude.
Oh yeah, hell
Straight
yeah,
up.
brother.
Listen,
the hand
Canadian
was
Smarties
related.
better than M&M's. Straight up, better than M&M's.
So much better.
Better, but just
They
straight
have
up.
a
not
way
even a
better
contest.
ratio of chocolate to candy. It's stupid to argue against, and yet people still do.
So if
Okay.
I come to Canada, we're gonna pre-game. We're gonna hit the liquor store or the convenience store. We're gonna get Smarties.
No. It is very much the liquor store. You want to hit the LCBO,
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do they?
the Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
But do they sell Smarties at the liquor store? That's where
At the
I'm
liquor
getting-
store?
Definitely don't. You want to hit a Loblaws or a Metro for that.
So Loblaws
I live
first.
on the Isle of Man. Why am I giving fucking advice on Canada right now?
Loblaws, and then LCBO, and then we're going to the bar. We're getting pickleback shots.
Yeah, and if you really want to blend in, you call the LCBO the Lickbo. You call it Lickbo.
Yeah.
Ah. I'm all
Yeah,
about
but
local lingo.
Call it the Lickbo. You know, you're basically people just assume you've been there your whole life.
Let's go around the table real quick and get individual league updates on what's going on. We'll start with AW over here.
And then we're killing it. Are we done after that?
I think we're about.
Can I ask one question really quickly?
You just did.
Shut up, TLK. So everyone in this room decides to make a league together, and we are all head office. Who is the commissioner of commissioners?
Not
Like,
me.
who would we appoint to be?
I'd appoint hummus.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like Brady Bunch
Yeah.
pointing up.
He'll hype his team up no matter what. So
Yeah,
Your league.
Nora, this is not a knock on you. If hummus declines, you're
Listen.
next.
Nah, I
Listen,
mean
I'd
that's
make
a
I'd
crazy
make
compliment that I don't think I should accept. But
I'd make a run for it, but I'd give it to hummus as well.
You
Yeah.
see,
dude, you're gonna make me cry, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
I
we love
won't
you.
even
No.
make a run for the major leagues commissioner in the league I am in. Right? I am taking myself well the fuck
I was
out
gonna
of
say.
this conversation.
I was gonna say Tom Hanks got some work to do first before the commissioner of sim leagues. He's got to get the
No,
commissioner of his
no.
own
Buddy.
league first.
Fuck. Look, it's not even about
Baby steps,
work
baby
because the
steps.
conversation has been had. I just really love the DSFL, and I'm not gonna fuck with
too.
that. I am very good at a select few of things, and one of them is I am desperately passionate about the minor leagues in the
Oh yeah.
DSFL.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
All right. AW, why don't you hit us up with some what's going on in EFL right now?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, so we, like I was saying earlier, we're just trying to kind of pinpoint some things where we can improve user retention, new users coming into the league and things like that. So just kind of fun ideas, trying to make it more fun rather than kind of feel like work kind of sim league. I know everyone has different little tasks and stuff that some like doing and some don't like doing. So trying to increase those opportunities, make everything so good for the new people as well as the people who are there, have been there a long time. Maybe they're getting burned out. Maybe, something. So we're just trying to improve all ways. We are underway testing some a new sim engine, upgrading the sim engine because we're still on 16. So we're underway testing that to hopefully use that as something that we can improve upon as well. Get more builds and arch types and things like that. And so, yeah, everything's going pretty good. We're just kind of looking to increase our user retention right now, and get that membership happiness to an all time high, and then we can bring more people in and have it and grow the league from within.
Awesome. Hummus, how about what's up with the PBE right now?
Right this minute, we just I like to look at it. Last time we filmed this, and now we did this broadcast. We launched a merch store, which was huge. We did to launch it. We did a huge giveaway. As people mentioned tonight, donations and all that. We've got a bank account, so we're like, this is a good way to tap in. So 4 people walked away with free merch. That was big. Just honestly, just trying to keep the ball rolling. In the PBE. We've had recent expansions, so just making sure these GMs stay on a good track. We're bringing back Picture Chain. We went away from Picture Chain for a season or 2. I don't know how long we did
it.
2.
2 seasons of trivia instead of Picture Chain. Not to toot my own horn, but this is the only forum sim league task that has nothing to do with the actual league itself. You can earn TPE and not know anything about the league, which actually is a pretty inviting task, which is why I pushed pretty hard to get it back. But we have other plans too. I want to do this or that. So someone does like, Pepsi or Coke. You say Coke, and then you go. Then you do your own this or that, like burgers or hot dogs, and the next person picks between those two. It's still instant claim. It's a way, I think, for us to get to know each other, and you don't have to know anything about the league too. So that's something that I want to bring in. But just from a league perspective, I would love for us to go to Out of the Park 22, but we're not there yet. I think that's what's kind of in the works, is to figure out how we can move sim engines. But in terms of what the league's doing, we enhanced our stat team. The guy who runs it actually does this for a living. So that's really cool. Broadcast guy. So enhancing our stat team, enhancing our co-host realm. It used to be just grab someone. Now you have to audition to get into our stream stuff. So just little things we're just trying to work on. Nothing too big besides the merch store. I feel like that was just such a huge monkey off our back that we're just trying to bask in that at the moment. But yeah, that's what's kind of where we're at. And if someone in chat wants to tell me anything else that I missed,
OBX best team.
please. Yeah, OBX won the World Series for the first time. I think just trying to
Last original team to do it.
Yeah, the last of the original six teams starting in 2017 got together. OBX took them 26 seasons, but they did it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Congrats to you guys.
Notice as soon as you were like, picture claim is back, most of the chat visually was like, yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that
Trivia was
Big
terrible.
claim is changed back. Yeah,
I never.
I love PC.
It's just cool. I think it's one thing, if you're thinking about joining other leagues, thinking about hours, just know that you can get 2 TPE per week and not have to know crap about the league. That helped me when I first started. I didn't know anything about the league,
Yes.
and I was able to get 2 TPE.
TOK. Let them know what's going on with the Super Casual League.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with our development league. As Dom pointed, so since last time, I think I'll start off with this. If you had told me at the start of March 2020 that this sim league, which was going to have no point tasks and be functioned on contracts and activity checks alone, would last 10 seasons and still be going strong, I would have said you were crazy, you were nuts. Also, what's COVID? So.
Well, March, you would have known about COVID.
March, yeah, but it's.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me ask you another one, T. Okay, if you were asking when you would be on the Wallabies, March, would that be a question that you would answer so easily?
Yeah, I know, right? But so 10 seasons, we're hitting our 10th season. Similar to Hummus, we have also launched a merch store. Actually on the same company, thanks to Hummus. So I'm rocking my SCFSL shirt and beautiful Tumblr. So that's kind of a big one. This is probably because of our change in schedule, and if I were to be a betting man as to when Axis 21 comes out, this is probably going to be our last season on Axis Football 2020, which is really cool. One of the big things that happened was we always like to have a special guest on for the Super Casual Bowl. Our special guest originally canceled, so we moved him to the Pro Bowl and had Hummus on for our Super Casual Bowl, which was great. Where similar to the Aviators, the last original team won the Super Casual Bowl as the Twisters got their win in Season 9. But this is where it gets really fun. In our Pro Bowl, we got a green light from the Axis developers to live show it on the 21 engine. If you hadn't had a chance to watch it, go back, look at our YouTube, because it's really cool. But in addition, we had Danny Jugan, who is the head developer of Axis Football, in the booth with me.
Worse than Dave.
I love Danny. Honestly, because Dave was good, but what Danny
Dave was
did in that,
great. Dave was a Wallabies fan and a developer of the sim.
yes. But so Danny actually did the Pro Bowl, marked things. So one of our big things that's been plaguing us for seasons has been the instant sack. And so he has actually tested
it was
that.
really bad. It was just awful.
He saw it. He was able to modify it. He was able to work on it so that in the beta, it actually got removed. And so in 22, we're going to see that gone. In addition, the entirety of the playbook writing has changed to become more competitive and more sort of situational. So we had him for our Pro Bowl. He actually answered questions for 45 minutes after the stream, which is just amazing. That rapport with the devs is just something that I can't just not speak to because I love it. And then finally, so we're in our 10th season. Our schedule, we've gotten, thanks to Pirate Captain Dom, we've gotten our Thursday Development League games on live as opposed to being pre-recorded on YouTube. Our commentator team is going strong and has actually recently hired people. And Toasty's StatBot is doing amazing things, and we recently expanded. That's
the StatBot hasn't broken in a few weeks, which is a huge accomplishment.
It broke yesterday.
Oh my god!
I was gonna say that's a fucking lie.
It broke yesterday, but also that was my fault because I forgot to upload a face gem. Oh, that's the other thing. We've done one other thing within our streams. Someone commented that they wanted to see more availability, similar to how the PBE has it, so that you can change your points in for things. Since obviously we don't have TP that you can get from streams, and I'm not going to monitor that. Instead, what we have is you can now make TLK answer questions about league lore. Any question. We do have a timer on that. And then we also have the Big Kahuna, which is a custom face gen for your player. And I do need to mention, as Nameless Nate pointed out, Rail Raiders legend and generational talent, Sweet Pea, has been drafted by the Aztecs. So, yeah.
Everybody in the chat, please ask TLK why he became a die-hard Wallabies fan.
I actually did order Wallaby socks from our merch store.
I know you did, and I love it so
You guys have
much.
socks in your merch store?
He
Oh, dude,
tried
hummus.
to draft
Hummus.
you
Get on it.
for like
I would
7
be all about that.
seasons, and
You gotta
all it took to get you signed was fucking becoming
I
a
told you all you had to do
desolate
was collapse.
franchise.
I said all you had to do was collapse and I would join you.
Scorp and I joked about collapsing every year we existed to sign you, and eventually we did it. All it took was him fully going IA.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad my rage quitting helped with that.
Adam, of all the places to make a comment about your rage quitting, this is not one of them, my friend.
I hope you get TLK. Yeah.
Who would you rather have?
I
Me or
wasn't
Adam?
even GM then. But
Yeah.
even still.
I mean,
Corp died so TLK could live, according to DJ.
I mean, that is the most positive way you could look at any of this situation.
Oh yeah.
and on that note, Tom, why don't we? What's going on in the ISFL right now?
Oh, well. Great question. Like, just in general?
Sure. Or,
I mean, right now we're working on a new pay structure. That's kind of the main overarching thing because we've had some issues with the way we've been doing payment, just in terms of like generally workload to payment value, and there have been some jobs that have been overpaid and some that have been underpaid, and we're working on looking at what is the most fair way to compensate everyone for what they have been doing. We've also been looking at refreshing the just kind of main Discord. We've been doing that, and I think it's quite a bit cleaner with what we've started doing now, and just made it such that it's easier for users to see and read what they want to. Yeah, just kind of the main things are just making the Discord more accessible to everybody. Because I know we've talked about a lot. Moving off forums, and forums being one of the more hard to deal with issues. And I remember a lot of people, frankly, significant amount of feedback we've gotten is just that essentially we are a Discord league that masquerades as a forum league. And we've been trying to work on two things. Part of that is definitely the pay structure being, paying people that are doing the work on Discord the way they deserve it. Because the pay structure as it's been has been largely the impact on the forum, when realistically there is a huge significant portion that's done on the on Discord that gets overlooked.
Oh. Did I lose volume?
No,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
just
well,
all
here you
sitting
go.
here totally awkwardly. Yeah.
We're waiting for your,
Oh,
waiting for your
that
guidance.
I was real concerned. I fully tuned out for a moment. Like I gave an impassioned speech and there was nothing at all.
It was beautiful. It was
Wait, who
beautiful.
are you? Why are you here?
guy.
I am a minor leagues commissioner who somehow stumbled onto this podcast. The only real experience being, I can drink a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You
That's
qualify
all you
for
need.
sure.
That's all you
Hell
need.
yeah, brother.
Alcoholism seems to be a major factor in being a commissioner in sim leagues. Speaking of, Noir, what's going on with the SHL right now? Which I probably joined because we peed together now. So
Oh yeah, no, we're we're bonded now. But for us, so we do a seasonal around playoff time, we do a like State of the Union sort of thing, recap everything that's going on, what we're planning, what we've been doing. That's been pretty fun. So that's gonna come out this week, but as a little, I guess, sneak preview about what's probably gonna be mentioned in it as we look towards the future. Parity has been a bit of a tough point for us for the last little bit. So we've been working on
every sim league.
Yeah, it's tough.
But it's such a sim league problem.
It is, but we've made a few adjustments to it going forward, where we made changes to our update scale to make it so that lower TPE players can be more effective. In like now that there's been like a huge difference in SHL, where on our past sim engine, it was like easier to jump in as a younger player, but now you really gotta like perfect your build before you can be really effective. So we made some update skill changes last off season, expansion. We made budget balancing a little bit tougher with like new minimums for contracts. So hopefully that'll see some long-term changes, which we're gonna address in the State of the Union tomorrow. Or the day after. We're looking at streamlining our season as well. So we kind of want to get it so that we can, our real game plan is to make it so that we can plan things out. Ideally, to be that we're on like an 8-week time frame for every season. So if we're consistent with that, then the hope is that we can plan future dates like months in advance. Less polls of like, oh, what day would you prefer for the deadline or for the draft, and more so just saying like, hey, here's a 6-month heads up. If you can't make it, that's on you. So yeah, formalizing dates is a big part of that. A little bit of rulebook cleanup we want to go through. There's a lot of rules in our rulebook that we rewrote it almost entirely pretty recently, but there's still a few that I feel like could use a little boost in clarity. So we're probably going to be like taking a look at that. And beyond that, it's just like, I guess, more stuff we've talked about here today, like focusing on user retention. Automation is a big thing for us. Like we've got like our regression tool now. A user, Candidates, made a little like analytics app for the site that now tracks regression, so we don't have to like manually track that all the time. So the end game is to get as much of that stuff automated as possible, remove human error. Like updating, I would love to eventually get on some sort of portal and everything. So if I were to sum it all up, like our main goal going forward, it's automation. It's like getting more of this stuff to be easier to handle, so that when new people come in, they don't have to like read a 2,000 word document on how to be a part of the league, you know. Like,
Nor,
What
can I
keeps
interest you
getting
in-
me is that you're making so many goddamn good points and such fantastic rhetoric about sim leagues, while simultaneously toying with a McFlurry that you keep waiting to eat.
Here's
It's
my
just
problem.
so distracting.
It's
I'm
because I ate
buying
all
When
the
will he
Smarties
take a
topping.
bite?
It's because I ate all the Smarties topping on the top, so it's just vanilla ice cream, and I've been like digging around trying to find the rest of the Smarties.
But it's ice cream. It's not
I mean,
like
it's
like
delicious,
that's not a
don't get me
bad
wrong.
part.
No, it's not bad. It's just the Smarties would be cool.
Dude,
if it
TLK,
was-
I'm definitely getting a McFlurry after this. I've already been game planning like the rest of my night after
Shit,
this, like
man,
what I'm
I
gonna do.
wish.
I'm grabbing my wife. We're
Alaman's a
going on a road trip.
desolate place.
I hope you guys get the Space Jam packaging. I'm praying for you guys.
Tell us what's going on with the GFSA right now.
We're running games again, and they're going well. That's all. Yeah,
Woo!
There's something to be said about keeping it going, right? Like you want to be able to come
we
to
had
this
a
video.
really long off season for so many reasons.
Right, we talked about it.
Because Zelly disappeared, and then expansion, and blah blah blah. But we're running games, and that's it. That's all I have to say.
There's something to be said. If your sim league's still going, that's a big update. Like,
yeah, I don't have a lot to say because we're in the middle of the season. So the current goal is finish the season.
like
we're
it's
gonna
hard
get
enough to
more
go
numbers
week to
Goals
week
that
with
you
your sim
think
league.
you can accomplish, right?
Yeah.
Goals. I think right now the goal is to get our activity back. Because that off season was long and hurt a lot of stuff. But just keep putting out a product and people will join in the product. Like
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean,
Big
I
shout
don't
out
have a lot
Kevin
to say.
Costner and Field of Dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Piggyback.
You expect it from the baseball sense.
In terms of
Oh, what a movie! Regardless of if you even like baseball, what a
Oh,
film!
I know. It's a great film.
Oh, also, I'm running a game right after this, so check us out on Twitch.
There you
Definitely.
go.
Yeah.
After I get my McFlurry.
And all the different discords and stuff, we'll get the link tree going. Does anybody want to have any final thoughts? Does anybody in chat that's not Van want to add any final thoughts?
I'm just happy we can't I helped come up with the idea of the big server that we want to start.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
I
thing is,
think
it's
that's
like,
it's a cool
why didn't I
idea.
think of that before? I got approached about helping start our sim leagues on Reddit to help with Reddit recruitment, to have like a meeting ground for as like a home Reddit. But like, we're all on Discord. Why didn't we think of like doing the Discord server? Like,
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that is
no, it makes
kind of
sense,
our main kind of points of contact with everybody.
Mhm,
Like that
mhm.
should really be
Yep.
where we're trying to capitalize the most. So for sure,
well,
that'd be brilliant.
and we'll
To be
talk
fair-
after, obviously. But like, well, how would you guys feel about like a Fiverr logo to represent like the federation? Or well,
Yeah.
first we got to workshop
I can-
like an acronym or like a name of it. You know, we'll go in the server.
Hear
We'll
me
workshop
out.
that.
DS of Hell.
I like it.
I don't
I
have
like
I'm
any.
just thinking
both.
Tom Hanks.
Don't see any problems.
Tom Hanks.
Oh
International.
Adam.
no! See, it's not ISFL, which is the league I'm representing.
It's an entity.
True.
It's a separate entity. Yeah, you're right.
It's a totally separate entity. Nothing to do with my current position.
Right.
Oh yeah,
The International Federation of Sim Leagues Federation.
I like it. I like it.
I haven't
Lengthy,
Beautiful.
pointless. I like it.
All right. Anybody want to any final shout outs before we go? Anything?
I would like to make a shout out. Adam,
Murder-
thank you so much for moderating this.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Adam.
You
Yeah,
freaking
thank you very
killed
much.
it, bro.
Turkey
Oh,
is
yeah.
in my DM saying that you look like a Chad, Adam. Which is the nicest thing Turkey's ever said about anyone ever. So
Wait,
congratulations.
Nate has come up with the best name, the Federal Federation of Allied Sim Leagues in a Federation. I don't think we need any other choice.
Not bad. Not bad.
I love the Fafasaluf.
I'll make my final shout out. Get a McFlurry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's happening. Literally,
and
as soon as I cut this stream.
yeah, there you go. I got a
I got a
McFlurry
Bronte.
and
Yeah.
I'll make my final shout out on the Alaman. There is technically a McDonald's, so at your best bet, search for that. It'll take an hour to find it if you're anywhere near anything, but they do have McFlurries there.
Are you
Oh, yeah.
getting one at 2 in the morning?
I
Do it.
will not.
do it,
I'm
do it,
afraid.
do it.
It does
Do it.
tempt. Don't get me wrong.
It's delicious if it changes your mind. It's really, really good.
See, I have a nasty habit, and we might get a few unsubscribes from the SCFSL here. But I was raised by parents who did not take us to McDonald's, so I have exclusively had a McFlurry once, and I was super stoned, and it was amazing.
Oh,
McFlurries are great. I don't eat fast food. McFlurries are my one exception.
They're delicious.
But they're great. Actually,
What a way to end the
my wife to
podcast.
go on a road trip with me.
Oh, I'll say as well.
Shout out to
Alright.
Mickey D's.
One final shout out. If there's any Kanye fans here or in the chat, hopefully that new album comes soon. I'm praying, dude. I'm praying for
You've
anybody.
been teasing that for a while.
Dude,
though.
I'm gonna scream.
not
I'm
even
gonna
a
scream into the-
Kanye fan as a person, but holy shit, am I a fan as a musician?
Yeah,
Let's
dude,
get that shit out, right?
that live stream was nuts. I don't think it's ever gonna come out because it's Kanye, but
Oh,
we
shit,
pray.
it's just not gonna fucking
we pray, we
happen.
pray, we pray.
We did.
He will never be as famous as he expects himself to be before that album gets released.
No,
It's
exactly.
just a fact of fucking life.
We told people we were going to do the Brady Bunch finish, so everyone commence with Brady Bunch and then hummus. Cut us out.
All right, I'm looking up at Adam.
Shit, I've never actually watched Brady Bunch.
I watched
God
the Brady
dang,
Bunch,
Gary.
but I was a full-on child at the time.
Yeah, I'm 19 here. I don't know what you expect,
bet-
mate.
I'm only 23. I only saw them as a child because my parents love old television.
Am I
Oh,
the
yeah.
second oldest person here?
29.
You're old.
The fact that it's only second TLK is
Can-
honestly impressive.
Can we celebrate my 30th birthday doing one of these? That'd be cool.
Yeah, sure. When's your birthday?
Yeah.
December. So we got
We'll
plenty
do
of
it.
time. We'll hopefully do multiple between now.
We'll
and
do
then.
some between then.
Yeah,
I'll
we
book it
will.
off.
Don't even
Hey, W,
worry.
how old are you? I need to figure out if I'm the second oldest.
Pizza. 30.
Ah, shit, I'm
Hey.
32. 30
Damn it.
TOO, not 32 TWO.
Yeah,
No
well,
problem.
Mark?
yeah. Are we
25,
cutting
dude.
it?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
cutting it.
Looks like our
Uh,
moderators got to eat some pizza. I got to go get some McDonald's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is cool. I love getting everybody together. To
Oh,
come
it's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
us against the internet, man. That's what it comes down to. It's us against the internet. We got to band together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Maybe we just call ourselves Sim Leaks Against the Internet.
no, we don't want to be confrontational with recruits.
Nah.
Not yet.
From the
Let them join
internet.
first.
I'm rolling myself a spliff, which is very illegal by the internet standards. So, us against the internet, baby.
Woo!
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks,
chat,
Andy.
for being with us all night. We love you guys.
Longer than we expected.
And we are gonna cut it now.